Yeah, let's go.
So I don't. As far as like when I should go in order for it to make sense, like to give you an idea, my reflection
is currently being recorded.
Nice.
Ooh, I'm still peeking real hard. And like I told people before we got here, in the immortal words of Bilbo Baggins, as you can tell from looking at the camera here, I'm not at home. Oh God, I can't. Clapping peaks. I gotta turn way down. Oh, way down. Because if Jubilos shows up, I'll fuck up everyone's ears. But time's come for more Kingmaker. My roommate is presently moving out from the, like, our apartment is bedroom, living room, bedroom. And so I figured it'd be better to set up here than y'all hearing the sounds of a couch scraping for 6 hours. Good guy, Tommy. In any case, oh man, there was something I was going to say about how I've been looking forward to this one, and we've all been stuck in a hole for way too long, social distancing. And this is like the moment of getting out and being able to do stuff, I guess. The one I've been looking forward to, bouncing off the walls. But I also am only working with one monitor right now, so as a quick disclaimer, if I accidentally open up something and I'm broadcasting something I wasn't supposed to be, or Achilles is hung up on the cords to this headphones, oh God, I'm in danger. Achilles, come on, buddy. Whoa.
One monitor.
Yeah, I know, right?
Is this the Stone Ages?
It is the Stone Ages, but it's also the Stone Ages where I only had to move my mic and shit, not just like my entire rig. But the five of y'all, thank y'all for your support on Patreon, letting us have way too many games and have money in this time of not everyone's going to work right now. Anybody want to volunteer for the in-character, or am I grabbing the D5?
I was going to say, I'll go first. My reflection takes place actually a little bit in the past, kind of. So, chronologically, might make sense for Cato to go first.
Alrighty, my lord.
Yeah.
I gotta get that one out of my system real fast. I don't need to feed your ego that hard.
Yes, you do. Keep feeding. It's like a raging inferno. The more you throw into it, the calmer and
the more raging it gets.
The better. Yeah, the better it gets.
What do you think of that, Tibor?
I think that is false, and
that's how the science. It's science, guys. It's not rocket science. It's just
Cato science.
Right.
Catology.
Cato science. All right. So yes, I'm playing Cato Sicarius. I'm now a level 7 character as of this session. Exciting. I am as far as my actual class breakdown is concerned. I am a 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Just want to make sure I had the numbers right. I am a level 1 Eldori Sword Lord. A level 3 swashbuckler of the Rosslyn Bravo archetype, a level 1 fighter of the Weapon Master archetype, and now, rounding off one of my cross classes, I have reached level 2 monk of the Master of Many Styles archetype, and it's that level 2 milestone is going to play a major role in the upcoming RP. So. All right. Yeah, so this, to set the stage for this reflection, it actually begins the night prior to where we ended our last session. After we arrived home from the tunnels, a little worse for wear, some of us worse off than others, and after we had gone our separate ways for the night to get rest, saying that we were going to meet the following day. So this takes place the night before. Cato stands in his bedchamber, looking himself over in the mirror. Clumps of hair lay at his feet. It wasn't a perfect job, but it would be serviceable for the time being. Cato's incident with the gelatinous ooze trap thing had done some real damage. His quick thinking with the alchemist fire might have saved his life. But it wasn't just the slime that was incinerated. A large portion of Cato's hair on the left side of his head had also been caught by the fire, leaving much of it burnt to a crisp. Cato had done what he could to even things out using his razor. He sighs, as annoying as this was. As annoying as this was, his hair would grow back. His uniform, on the other hand. Cato looks over his shoulder at the crumbling leather and corroded plates of his once master-crafted armor. Between the corrosive properties of the ooze and the fire that followed shortly thereafter, the combat uniform of his former dueling academy was nearly completely unrecognizable. The once gilded tabard showcasing his family sigil that covered the studded leather could hardly even be made out anymore. I guess it was time for an upgrade anyway. He turned again to face the mirror. Running his hand along the newly shaved down sideburns, he winced for a moment. His body still ached tremendously from his fall into the trap. Then, almost by reflex, he shuddered as his finger reached a nasty scar right above his right ear. He still remembered the injury like it was yesterday, during the battle with the Stag Lord, when the Ogrekin's blade had struck him. It was a mighty blow, a blow that should have split his head wide open. Fate, it would seem, must have intervened. Still, the injury was great, and the gaping wound left a gnarly scar when it did eventually heal. Cato had grown out his hair a bit over the past year, covering up the unsightly marking. But now it was in plain sight again, a reminder of the failures of his past, when he was too headstrong and foolhardy for his own good. Maybe he still was. But the past year had tempered that at least a little bit. His combat skills had sharpened too. His training with Bakken had really started to pay off. Who would have thought that little goblin would be able to teach Cato so much? Yet lately, Cato had also been spending more and more time practicing on his own, working on something, perfecting something, something unique, something that even Bakken was unaware of. For now. Maybe it's time for another sparring match, Cato mused to himself. I can't wait to see the look on his face when he sees my new technique. Cato shook off his daydreaming. As he prepared himself for bed, he thought to himself, such a dire situation is upon us. Those cultists, how easily they infiltrated us, got close to us, even nearly killing our Taurus. And the assassins at the graveyard, no doubt they are linked. Someone is moving against us, trying to weaken us from within. But to what end? These thoughts continued to circle around Cato's mind as he drifted to sleep. The next day, Cato arrived at the meeting hall with the others as they debated what the next course of action should be. Unfortunately, the meeting was ultimately inconclusive. More investigation was needed. And as the party began to disperse, Cato intercepted Bakken on the way out. Hey, old friend. I meant what I said in there. Don't think anyone ever suspected you of any foul play. I just wanted you to be aware that your name had come up. No doubt another dastardly attempt by those wretches to cause instability within our ranks. Cato shakes his head. But I need to clear my head, try to figure out what our next plan of attack should be. Care for a sparring match? I always think better after a fight. There's no better way to get the blood pumping after all. And that's where I'll stop.
Alrighty, fair enough. I was going to have a witty remark about how we're all in the Discord posting GIFs, but I suppose what I'll say is, so we can get to everybody else, take that hero point. I'll run with it in just a sec when we get done with everybody else. Does anyone want to volunteer for secondsies?
Go.
Alrighty.
Mine also takes place the night before the meeting.
Christ, we've been making so many jokes about how we're going to do the in-character reflections and then go to the next session of in-character reflections.
Pretty much.
I'm here for it. Take it away.
All right, and I play Kalira Ashling, and I'm a barbarian, level 7 of the superstitious archetype, and a half-elf. And so the raging inferno formed a wide, misshapen ring. Everything within and beyond it was a field of utter darkness. They came flooding down an invisible corridor, their rotted, soulless bodies still ready from the gaping wounds that felled them. Old nameless deviant who thought a little blonde girl wouldn't have the spine to do more than scream. A host of others followed just like the first, their throats having been slit open when they least suspected or were otherwise distracted. Young street toughs who doubted such skinny arms could swing the big iron slug haphazardly across her back. More and more they funneled out of the void below the towering figure in spiked plate armor that loomed over them all. A horrific scene played out as the fiery arena filled with the revenants. the haunting echoes chorus of blood songs rising just above their undead moans. It was the sweetest of dreams. Kalira cackled wildly as she mowed through the ghosts of her past, letting her greatsword drink in their life's blood a second time. She reveled in the slaughter. An up-jumped bandit who talked to the fop as if he knew a thing. A mob of blood-sacrificing kobolds. Stretch's annoying father. After every wave, she looked up at the ironclad giant and screamed one of the scores of quotes the old priest would spout out ad nauseum. Those who ask for mercy are too weak to deserve it. Only the strong survive, and conflict will make you strong. Through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken, and so only in battle am I free. Lyra placed a foot atop the corpse of a now motionless body of a headless dragon who thought himself a king. The explanation playing on her blood-soaked face, she asked, "Has my demonstration of wanted carnage and combat superiority pleased my Iron Lord?" The dark figure wordlessly pointed a massive gauntleted hand behind her. Kalira's eyes widened with surprise as a voice echoed from her past and chilled her to the bone. "Kalira, the name I gave you. The proof you are mine. I have found a use for that bastard blood of yours, and so have deigned to uphold that claim. Be thankful, girl. Though you yourself, I hardly have need of." Kalira turned to her father, Lord Vitatsi's wizened form before her, and her hot blood boiled over into an unbridled rage. The old priest's voice came from above like thunder rolling far in the distance. "Power is only a means to an end. It is not an end in itself." It was then she realized her greatsword was gone. She looked around frantically, the old man's croaking laughter taunting her all the while. She then glanced over her shoulder to see Gorm too had vanished. Kalira roared as she pounced on the decrepit sword lord, her slender hands pressing into saggy, papery skin like vices as she attempted to squeeze the little life remained him. Yet still he sniggered through the gaps in his wide, aged grin. Shrill screams suddenly pierced her pointed ears. Kalira looked up to see the terrified faces of Raylam and Rune. She immediately let go of the old man and reached out with her crimsoned hand, sorrowful tears welling in her eyes. "No, my loves, do not be afraid. I... She quickly realized they were not looking at her, but past her. Kalira turned slowly to see two large leathery wings burst from the pile of undead corpses and stretch out to a near 15 feet as they flung dozens of bodies aside. 10-foot-tall devil rose up from the bloody mess, its long, spiny tail coiled about its black-scaled body. It looked at her with pupilless yellow eyes that burned like the fires around them. Atop its head bore a great crown of horns. It opened its mouth, and voices, interwoven as they were, still all too familiar, hissed as one. "Source." Kalira sprung up from her bed, panting. The slip over her heaving chest was sodden with sweat. The chronically irritated skin of her left arm now felt as if it was on fire. She spilled out of her bed in disoriented panic, fumbled to the windowsill to pull herself up. She gazed out over Rooston in the pale moon's light and marveled. She could see clear to the end of town as if it were the middle of the day, much further than she had ever had. Stumbling back, she caught a glimpse of herself in the beaten bronze mirror above her wooden wardrobe. Kalira's eyes widened like those of some wild beast in the night, and like a wild beast, she lashed out. Her fists came down like hammers in her rage, smashing the wooden chest to pieces in a single blow. As she looked down at herself in the mirror atop the pile of broken wood, she saw the shadowy visage of the horned devil staring back at her with his burning yellow eyes. The scream it drew from her caught in her throat as a sharp gasp, and then It was just her own terrifying face staring back at her. All at once, the strength drained from her body and she stumbled back to the foot of her bed and then collapsed. Clara curled up on the stone, cold floor, placed her face in both her hands, and silently wept until the first light of dawn crept into her room. That's it.
Damn.
Damn. I have so many groups where it's like, my name is this, and I'm playing this. Last time this happened, I feel like this. And that'll be the in-character reflection, and they'll get that. I feel like y'all need more than hero. Jesus Christ. I'll figure something out over the course of the next role plays. Who's going next? Somebody who's literally just gonna be, I'm this. This happened. Uh-oh. Done.
I'll go. All right, I'll go.
All right, it's all you.
All right, I am Senya the Black Stag. I play a Geminid Invoker. Last session, we did a huge dungeon crawl. I accidentally stumbled into more spiders than I could chew, and there a bunch of bad things happened.
I love that you just went for it.
We're over here like cheering you on.
I'm sorry, guys. I just don't have anything prepared this week. I'm just winging it.
No, I love it. I love it.
I gained a level this week in level 2 in Phalanx Warrior, so I am now a level 4 Geminid Invoker, level 1 Ranger, and a level 2 Phalanx Soldier. Working my way towards fighting defensively with a shield and Rancer, so here I am.
Here you are.
As so the prophecy foretold.
Oh, I nudged her to go. I'm like when you made your.
As so Kato ensured the prophecy was foretold. Fair enough.
That was top level memes right there.
Best memes, the greatest memes.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
I will say, having helped Senya level up to level 7, she's got some cool new some tricks up her sleeve too. She didn't mention, but you guys will see it soon.
Oh, we'll see
hopefully.
it. All right, New Yorkers. Any of the New Yorkers?
It's gonna be me. Not going last today.
You did it. I'm proud of you.
Woo, it took me, what are we on? Like 20, 25 something?
Something like, yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we are. I'm playing Ionia Essel, a mostly human occultist. Last session, just kidding. Yeah, mostly human. Because some of you like to forget. I'm looking at Esker right now.
Rude.
Anyways.
So rude. What a call out.
Okay, so mine is going to take place just after some text RP, which I will fill everyone in about after the reflections.
Yeah, we should. That text review is very critical. We should talk about that at some point.
Yeah, I have a thing prepared for after the reflections as well. So my reflection is going to be less long, but then I have more for later.
Fair enough.
Okay. Fair enough. Ionia takes several deep breaths, eventually soothing her trembling flesh. Seeing through another's eyes had never been pleasant, but experiencing another's death never seemed to get easier. She pushes her face away from the pillow of white fur she had been hyperventilating into just a moment ago, and smiles at the black-haired gnome who stood before her, motioning toward a bottle of wine beside her. She lifts the bottle and shakily pours it into a nearby glass, though the liquid doesn't sputter into the glass as it should. Instead, it pours smooth as silk, leaving a deep crimson pool shimmering at the bottom of the glass. This came as little surprise, as Jubilost had announced to the bottle as genuine illusory. You shouldn't be here, you know, though I do understand. You'll have to wait for the explanation, if you don't mind. As I mentioned to Clara, I'd rather not relive the experience more than once. With the back of her hand, she brushes a single black curl away from in front of her eye, before raising the weightless glass to her lips. As she imagines the liquid pouring down the back of her throat, the thoughts begin to flood her mind. How did all of this happen? Have we been fools for thinking these walls would keep us safe? Are others spying on us as I am them? Perhaps they're better at it. After all, our enemies are always one step ahead of us. They always seem to know when we're coming. I need to be quicker than them, smarter than them. I've been too distracted. It's time to get fierce. It's time to take control. She smiles once more at the gnome and continues sipping at her pretend wine as she tries to convince herself that she's no longer a child.
Okay, fair enough. Hero points away. Oh, Taxman.
I wonder how the enemies could always be one step ahead of us. It's almost like they have some godly omnipotent being who knows everything about our every action.
Are you claiming that the DM is metagaming?
I'm not.
Alright, I'm gonna need everyone to settle in because mine's
Oh.
there's a lot of changes coming. So
Grab your popcorn, folks.
Break out your popcorn. Bring out your dead. Topical. Oh, my hair is caught.
okay, so this is roughly taking place during the time while the object reading is going. So that's where I'm picking. In the middle of the afternoon in the town of Ruston, the sun casts a long shadow from Fort Staggrave over the smaller structures below. Within the shadow, the Temple of Abadar stands proudly, fires burning at all hours, serving as both a welcome and a warning to the denizens of Concordia. Order does not rest. If you want it, you can find it. If you fear it, it will find you. Normally in the main hall at this point in the day, Artoris had instead retreated to the antechamber. Near him, an altar had been laid out as a personal shrine. Large golden scales were placed prominently in the center of the altar, with various currency and valuables adorning the base. Artoris' customary headdress lay sitting upright on the table, and though it had clearly been placed carefully and with some degree of reverence, its position on the otherwise full and ordered surface belied the notion that it belonged there. Artoris sat nearby, to the side of the altar, clutching his taxmaster mask with both hands, staring at it pensively. Though it had been repaired, it still looked to him to be broken. Arbiter floated nearby, never quite staying in one place for too long. Why do I wear this? Artoris wondered aloud. Arbiter turned and looked, readying a response, before Artoris continued. The hallowed taxmasters of Abadar wear these masks to hide their identities from those that resent the implementation of his order. Their ignorance causes us to act in anonymity in fear of reprisal. But here, Artoris stands up, looking toward the doorway that leads to the central hallway. This mask doesn't do that for me at all. It identifies me rather than conceals me. So why have I continued to wear it? As Arbiter began to process an answer, Artoris raised his hand. No, friend, I do not seek an answer. I ask these questions only to work through my own thoughts. I mean to say, perhaps it is time I stopped wearing it. It serves no purpose here. The people should know me. And yet, Artoris looks down at the mask, the expressionless visage staring back. This mask had been with him since his induction into the Taxmasters. He remembered fondly sharing that moment with his father. But for all that memory, he couldn't help but see it as it was a day ago, acid-scarred and incomplete. A moment of silence passes. Arbiter, could you return this mask to the damaged state that you repaired it from? He was met with a motionless, blank stare. Artoris tilted his head in confusion for a moment before giving a slight chuckle. No, Arbiter, this question is actually one that I am asking. Is that a function that you could perform? Arbiter's eye refocused on the High Priest. Apologies. I believe with some effort I would be able to return it to the damaged state that I repaired it from, though it may be difficult to replicate the acid burns without some of the acid you fell into. Artoris gave a weary look. If he didn't know it was impossible, he could almost swear he heard the tone of a friend poking fun at him. Excellent, Artoris said simply, as he handed the mask to his companion. That will be sufficient. It doesn't need to be exact. I should also say that, well, there is no pressing urgency with this task. It's a personal request. Artoris smiled warmly at the Arbiter, who clutched the mask and began to fly off. Sometimes I get too caught up in the arguments, to appreciate the allies I have around here. I will be back shortly, Arbiter. Please watch over the temple. With that, Artoris headed out of the temple and into the town, casting invisibility on himself as he departed. The streets were still small, the homes modest. This was no grand city, not yet, but it was getting. The occasional passerbys failed to notice the High Priest while under the effects of invisibility, mistaking his footsteps for their own or missing them entirely. As Artoris walked the town, his mind navigated a number of topics. It really is a remarkable thing. I spend all of my time in the temple, but in truth, all of this is a temple to Abadar. We have brought structure to this land, and yet something has to change. Back home, if a citizen failed to part with their obligation, it was sufficient to magically incapacitate them and move on. Here, in a wilderness of banditry and chaos, plots and assassination attempts, this no longer seems enough. I have found myself relying on others to fulfill my oaths and duties instead of paying my debts myself. I believe that before I came here, I should study tactics and learn to work in a group. After working alone for so long, it seemed a natural thing to want to improve upon, given the nature of the upcoming task. Perhaps I have been concentrating my efforts in the wrong place. Maybe I have sacrificed too much, to the point that I cannot even defend my temple or the people that I care about. Suddenly a horse goes riding by, a bit too fast, nearly colliding with the high priest. Barely avoiding the contact, Arcturus found himself becoming personally frustrated, rather than questioning whether or not the rider's speed was in violation of some town ordinance. This is ridiculous. His mind turned toward nearly drowning in the river, falling down a pit in the assassin's tunnel. Enough is enough. This armor is too heavy. I have to do something about it. His thoughts are interrupted again as a woman passes by, wearing a darkened cloak. That's her. Impossible. The assassin had somehow survived her wounds in the shrine, and she was still here, in the city. Arcturus began following her. How could she have survived? Is this related to the defiling of the graveyard? Could it be necromancy here? Her pace increased, eventually rising to a light run. Arcturus matched it. He glanced about for a guard, but none were around. As his mind and feet raced, he realized there was nothing he could do. I could not stop her before. Why would I be able to now? No sooner had his mind finished the thought, the woman darted to a doorway, meeting the arms of a young human man. He removed the hood of her cloak, and beneath it was an elvish woman, decidedly nothing like the assailant who had perished in the shrine. Arcturus blinked a few times, surprised. I know what I saw. I was so certain. As the couple continued their embrace, Arcturus turned away in shame and embarrassment for intruding on their lives, walking away in the direction he came. I have never been so happy to be invisible, Arcturus thinks, with a quiet sigh of relief. Imagine the scene this would have caused in the middle of the day, in plain view of everybody. It was true. Since mastering it, he had found solace and a certain degree of power in the obscurity. Then it occurred to him. I will need teachers, but perhaps it will work. Turning in a hurry to the temple, Arcturus rushed to the antechamber. Placed carefully on the altar on one side of the display around the larger scales were the smaller golden scales, waiting to be affixed to a crossbow like the poor halflings before him. Picking them up, he felt the weight of the task he was about to undergo. He had trained with crossbows in the past. Most clergy of Abadar had at least some training with light crossbows. But as he had been reminded of recently, it was never his strong suit. Yet, holding this, possibility echoed through his mind. Somehow, he felt confident. After quickly rearranging and restoring balance to the display to account for the now missing bauble, Arcturus set off again. He had one more task to complete today. He set off to find Ionia. I am playing this character, Arcturus Vilmire, and I am level 7 Inquisitor, and I'm human.
And you're human, and
I'm playing this character.
I'm kind of speechless. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. That's one of the reasons I enjoy this group, and one of the reasons that as BDG moves forward, and I get the stuff with where I'm gonna end up living all settled, and figure out how much I can spend on an editor. I'm planning on taking almost all of my live plays off the channel, because we're not Critical Role. I don't have the budget, and we live across the states, and y'all are paying me for a service. Not we're a bunch of nerdy voice actors who play D&D. But this is the one group I would leave on the channel, because holy god, you people are good at what you do. I don't know what extra stuff you get on top of hero points. We will figure it out in the next 2 weeks, but the more this happens, the better your characters are rewarded. Jesus!
More hero points?
Not more hero points will break the meta. No. Don't get greedy. Now you are the last Black Stag. You see Divicos. He lies dead in the street. You don't know what happened, but the DM is apparently metagaming.
Tommy, that was the sweetest compliment.
That the DM is
Thank
metagaming?
It was.
No, you guys are
No.
y'all are the best ever. And it was actually, I was talking
Aww.
to Zarish last night about this. It has been joked about a lot at BDG that you pay Tommy for his friendship. And I always tell my patrons that first and foremost, we are goods and services. But I legitimately look forward to this, because it feels like I'm just showing up at the friends table and then running a 6-hour game and drinking too much Monster with them. It's good times. But I digress. We're like 40 minutes into session time at this point. Maybe we should play some damn Pathfinder. All right, Kato, you have the floor.
Oh, all right. So, so I will repeat my very last line. So I need to clear my head, try to figure out what our next plan of attack should be. Care for a sparring match? I always think better after a fight. There's no better way to get the blood pumping after all.
Bakken responds by cracking his neck and drawing his sword. Sure, why not?
Excellent. Kato, at a brisk pace, walks with Bakken out to the courtyard. As they stand about 10 feet apart, the first stance Kato takes is immediately familiar to Bakken. This technique Kato has been using for years. Mechanically, it's Crane style, and we will refer to it as such. But in character, it is the Rosalind Bravos fighting style taught to him back home at the Raging Dragon Duel Academy. This style was created in response to the Eldori way of fighting. It is similar in concept, a form utilizing a single weapon, the Eldori dueling sword, and an empty offhand. This form takes defense to the next level, increasing the defensive bonuses gained by fighting defensively. And with that, I'm going to, for everyone's knowledge, if y'all are in the Roll20.
Speaking of in the Roll20, do you want to make this fight with Bakken mechanical? His sheet is finished.
Doesn't have to be.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it's not really the outcome of the fight.
Good old Crane style.
So boom, there it is. If you ever want to interject, I'm not gonna take liberties with Bakken's behavior, but I'm gonna just kind of, if you ever want to interject at any point, feel free to do so.
Okay, sure.
But I'll just say here, the match kicks off, and Kato has a few exchanges with Bakken. But as usual, the goblin is too agile, his guard too precise, and Kato isn't able to find an opening. Kato pauses for a moment. Clearly this isn't getting me anywhere, is it? Kato smirks. All right, Bakken, let's see if your training has paid off at all. And suddenly, Kato's entire form shifts. His stance and his movements change, become more aggressive. Upon closer inspection, it would now appear that Kato was using the exact same fighting style as Bakken. This is Eldori style. Similar to Crane style, this fighting stance is also built around fighting defensively. But while Crane style enhances the defensive bonuses, Eldori style is the polar opposite. While fighting defensively, users of Eldori style gain a damage bonus to their attack. In short, the Eldori style turns defense into offense. And here for you guys.
Alrighty.
So Bakken has any. If you have anything you want to.
Bakken, he sees you do it, and he mostly just shifts his footing a little bit, but doesn't respond in any other way besides that.
All right. The two begin again, but this time, Kato and Bakken are using the exact same fighting style. It is quickly clear that Bakken still has the upper hand. He is far more experienced in this fighting form, after all, and it shows. While Kato has spent the past year practicing it, every move, every cut, every parry, Bakken seems to be just one step ahead of him. But then, something changes again. As the two continue to clash, Kato starts doing something Bakken has never seen him do before. Kato shifts stances once again, back to Crane style, and then, a moment later, he's back in Eldori style. It seems Kato has the ability to switch from one style to the other, and back again on the fly. Or at least that's what it appears Kato is doing at first. As the fight continues, however, it's apparent that there is actually much more going on here. The transition is too fluid, too seamless. No. Kato isn't switching between styles at all. What Bakken sees are elements of both styles working together almost in perfect tandem, a unification of two different techniques to create something altogether brand new. Kato has effectively fused both fighting styles together in perfect harmony, gaining the full benefits of both stances simultaneously. The pure defense of Crane style and the offensive power of Aldori style fused together in what will now be known as Aldori Crane style. And I'm just going to link this here. A couple things for y'all.
Ooh, homework. All right.
Okay. Did you have anything else from there?
Nope, that's...
So you go into the combined style, and Bakken sees it, nods once, sheathes his sword, and good, finally. There's no more I can teach you, Sicarius. At long last, you are finally learning to think for yourself, to adapt, to improvise, to take what you can do and do well, and then do it better. To take the old ways and put them, he holds his hands out, like spreads his fingers wide and then meshes them together, into something new, something people haven't seen, something that's exciting. For the love of the gods, you come from a city where all people do is get drunk and sword fight in the streets. Wait, actually, no, there's one more thing, actually. I suppose I could teach you. And with that, Bakken reaches into his bandolier, withdraws a potion, chugs it, and then goes invisible. Can Kato still be caught flat-footed?
Yes.
Alrighty, so make a perception check real quick if you would.
Okay. Versus my... Woo!
So, Bakken
very stealthy.
You hear the sound of the wind moving, and then this is... Why can't I click on that? Oh, because I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Duh. Okay, fair enough. I gotta go to using the wrong ability for my CMB. Which I can roll base attack and it'll come out the same, I think. Yeah, well, I can, hold on. This should be about like that, I think. Should make it come right, yeah. So 17 against Kato's CMD minus his dexterity because he's not aware of it.
I lose all... Okay, so I lose my... So my dex is -5. Do I lose my dodge bonus to CMD because I lose my dex? That's how that works? Yeah, so I lose 15, okay. So 29 minus 15. That would be 14.
So then you kind of you're able to react a little and you put some of your weight on a different foot and you shift, but it's not quite enough. And Bakken drops out of invisibility at the end of a dirty trick combat maneuver as he brings his sheathed sword to ding the bells. If you know what I mean.
Like pommel?
With the sheath of
Bunk.
the sword off his belt, and he racks you with it.
Gotcha, yeah.
My final lesson for you, Cato Sicarius, is humility.
Ow!
Rumors persist, I know. Rumors persist throughout this city, throughout this region of our pompous, foppish Restovic overlord, who has no love for his people and only has love for apparently the women and the strange swamp witches is the story I'm hearing. Something about putting me in chains on suspicion that I gave a key to someone. I don't know what's going on. But if you intend, A, to unify this region of lawless bandits, brigands, thieves, alchemists, witches, trolls, and whatever the hell else is under every rock, nook, and cranny in this blasted Forsaken region, you need to do it differently than the way you were taught. Consider. And Bakken hops up on a barrel, whoop, flips in the air to land on it, waves his arm out over Rooston at large. The population of Rooston presently is, what, give or take 50 people? I'm guessing if 50 people came after one Aldori sword lord with 50 crossbows, pretty sure the odds are still not in your favor. And even if they were, you will have butchered your people to stay alive. Consider something bigger. Consider a major settlement. Consider, I don't know, Restov. Consider any of the cities in Brevoy, Absalom, any of those. One person does not have the power to rule over them by some because I say so, or because mommy and daddy gave me lots of money. No, they do it because people don't think to question it. Further, you come from a place where everyone thinks they're going to be the next most famous sword master in all of the Inner Sea region and beyond, and honestly, that's not a far cry from the truth in the case of some of them, and I know what I just did and what I am saying, but frankly, I am very impressed with you. Nevertheless, towns like Restov exist because people don't think to question. They go to work, they get done with work, they pay their bills, and then what do? They blow the excess on ale and go to one of the many, shall we say, prestigious fighting arenas of the city to beat each other senseless. And so the status quo persists, and so the rich get richer, and the poor turn into cholera or die in the streets. If you intend to rule here, if my cat continues to jump where my mixer is, that will be bad. If you intend to rule here, you need to think about their wants, their needs. You need to think of yourself as them, not above them, but an extension of their will, their shield, their sword. Otherwise, Bakken just kind of trails off from there. I'm sorry, I suppose I get a little philosophical when I'm impressed. Nevertheless, I think you get my meaning.
Kato's a little like just kind of shell shocked, a little stunned. I don't think he's ever heard Bakken speak so much, speak so deeply about such things in the past. I had no idea you had all of this bottled up, Bakken.
And it's why I live in the Stolen Lands. The people of Restov don't want their situation to change, and so I got tired of trying to change it, and so I left. Better to be here by myself than to be around a bunch of people satisfied with their abysmal living conditions.
Fair enough. Well, I know I haven't been the most shining example of that these people can look up to. I have certainly been more self-motivated and focused on my own growth and development than earning the love of the people and finding what and trying to figure out their needs. And it is definitely something that that I will need to think carefully about.
And think about it, you should. All it takes is one bad day, one person who hears that you in fact are not an illustrious dragon slayer and are in fact a boo-boo liar pants. And then they're up in arms.
God damn it, Kalira.
Are we seriously not mad at the taxmaster for that one?
Oh, well, I mean, Kalira told the lie, the taskmaster did the throwing under the bus, so both of them can...
But I'm not saying that lying is inherently bad. I'm saying just care about the people around you. There's no embellishment for... Yes, in fact, it was you who killed a dragon. Matter of fact, the story would be a little more interesting than I tried to kill a dragon, failed, and then my friend saved me, but my friend is also kind of mean to everyone. Just food for thought. Just think about it. That's all I'm saying.
I will, thank you, Bakken. Your counsel is always appreciated.
Thank you for the sparring match. I've probably lost 10 pounds since you decided to move out here. Certainly this is much more interesting cardio than chasing Perlavash around my garden. Damn, fake dragon. He says a bunch of choice words in Goblin.
Kato gives a respectful bow, and I think around this is the time where...
Urgent news! We need to go speak to the spy master, my lord!
Well, Kalira, right, is rounding everybody up?
Nah, Kalira, nah, she's not fucking doing that. She's gonna make guards do it.
Oh, okay.
And no one was surprised.
Oh, I also want to show everyone. So I linked the new the styles and the fuse style class feature that my monk archetype gives. But as my level
Are the
7,
reflections over?
Yeah.
Not quite.
Nope.
yeah, we're done with reflections.
Esker
wait,
was
sorry.
Just completely right.
Tommy, I know I told you about this in a DM, but I just want to remind you and remind everyone because this is really cool. So I kind of want to share it off. As for my level 7 feat, because you get a feat every odd level, I picked up the Combat Style Master feat. So this changes the switching of styles to a free action instead of a swift action, which helps my action economy. And combos really nice with fuse style because when I switch styles, I actually don't switch, but I combine. But also, this allows me to pick a combat style at the start of combat, and I start in that style, even in a surprise round. So as part of my initiative roll, I can basically enter a stance automatically without needing to do so. So how this will work in game is essentially at the start of combat, when we roll for initiative, I'll choose a style at that moment. So I'll pick Aldori style, for example, hypothetically. And then on my very first turn, as a free action, I will then activate Crane style, which will combine the two styles. So basically,
what is happening right now?
What's happening right now is Tommy's gonna get this bit of audio and put it on the next episode of Min-Maxing for Fun and Profit. Dell's doing my job for me.
Long story short,
do we want to go around the table and share our level 7 feats?
Nah.
Please.
I just wanted to make, I was pretty proud about this combo. I've been waiting quite a few levels. to be able to do this. So
this is the level where Kato will hit his stride. Yeah.
Well, no, it's definitely a cool little wombo combo of a archetype feature and a feat. So anyway, I'm done.
So you hear that, Esker? He was underpowered up
earlier.
until right now.
Now it begins. Yeah.
Okay, the floor goes to everybody now.
Oh yeah, I would have arrived kind of incidentally on my own where I need to be. I was trying to find Ione anyway. I am without my mask and my headdress at this point.
Oh wow! So we've got to see the face for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
The whole face, not just little bits of face.
God, I never realized how ugly you were.
I mean, did you actually say that, or
no?
Okay.
No. Come on, you know me better than that.
Well,
I hope so.
Yeah. All right. So,
all right. So we all get funneled back into this meeting room. Ionia.
We are gathered here today to
talk
discuss...
about your level 7 class feature.
We all gathered here today.
Let me just explain to you guys how object reading works in case anybody was confused about it over the past...
I've been confused about it for like a third of Kingmaker. So...
So yeah, as you all come into the room, Ionia is still kind of trying to put herself back together after her panic attack. And she'll just kind of take a look around and say, good, it looks like everybody's here. I'm sorry that took so long. This seemed relevant to everyone beyond just Kalira. Where to begin?
Jubilost is here as well, and as everybody comes in, he's been, like, his eyes have been closed this whole time as he's concentrating on the illusion, and more wine glasses appear for everybody.
It's good wine.
Tastes like whatever you want it to.
You just have to pretend real hard.
Just don't think, drink. It's a simple concept.
I love this guy.
But yes, I'm so sorry. So sorry, my dear. Please, continue.
Aisling believed we were not doing enough to protect our people. I fear she was right. Many have gone missing already, victims of these cultists, no doubt. Others are tormented with displays of fascism here in our own streets. These cultists we've been tracking are hags. They call themselves the Coven. They report to the defaced sisters. They've been holding regular meetings below, though I doubt those will continue, as I'm sure they have already discovered, or I'm sure they already know that we've discovered their most recent hidey hole. The Coven has formed an alliance with Hargulka's clan. The trolls have agreed to cause havoc for Concordia in exchange for food for the Coven. What's worse, they've also agreed to aid the Coven should they make any direct attack against us. And it seems that they're going too soon. They may even be on their way as we speak. Due to this suspicion, I'll keep the rest of this brief. A voice spoke to me directly. It told me that there's still time if we act quickly, though I'm not positive how long ago this message was left. Our adversaries are united, and they're coming. The voice suggested that we meet them, preventing them from coming into our homes and harming our citizens. We must fight them head on. War is upon us. We will need allies. We can't afford to hold back. Those who will fight beside us may not return. Some of us may not make it back either. We must be prepared for those losses. If you have any unspoken words, now is the time.
What do you... You got this all from that.
Yeah, Kalira gave me Ashling's holy symbol. It was a little more intense to read than most other things.
Okay. For a second, I thought you had been holding out this information on us. I was like, how long did it take you to gather all this intel, and you hadn't shared any of it? All right, fair enough. This is troubling. Very, very troubling. Were you able to see, like, where they are, if they are, how close they are to... It
doesn't exactly work that way. I was able to see Ashling's last moments. It's really about it.
Was Stretch there?
Stretch was there, though I didn't see him beyond just the beginning.
Does he live?
As far as I could tell, I'm not positive, though.
There's a small point of order that might have got lost in the giant round of text RP. He was fed to the owlbear.
Oh, he was fed to the owlbear. Sorry,
Ouch.
I wrote all of this at 5 a.m., so
That's
my
fair.
bad. Stretch and Ashling are both gone. I was only able to see what happened in the tunnels below. I have no idea if they've moved somewhere else or where they might be.
Cato looks over to Kalira. My condolences for the loss of your friends.
Kalira shrugs. What I wanted to know is who did it. They're gone. Yeah, they're gone. It's over for them, but...
Were you not paying attention?
Who is this? Who did you say that they were aiding?
I was paying attention, but when my point was, I mean, him living or dying is immaterial to what I need to know.
Do you want me to start from the beginning? There's a group of hags called the Coven. They've made an alliance with the trolls.
But what was that third group? What was that third group? I know there's the Coven, the trolls, and...
The Defaced Sisters.
No, sorry, the fourth group then.
Oh, I think just the... So there's the Coven. The Coven reports to the Defaced Sisters.
Yes.
The Coven has an alliance with Hargulka.
Yes, who's that?
Hargulka's clan. That's the trolls that you've been so eager to go fight?
Okay, I just want to make... I didn't know... I couldn't remember what the troll king's name was. Okay, I just want to make sure they weren't... That wasn't a fourth faction. Yeah. Okay, so that's the troll... Oof. Okay. So we have the Hag Sisters who report to the... Or the Hags who report to the Defaced Sisters. And those are cultists of...
The Hags are cultists of Girona. The Defaced Sisters, I don't think we've heard anything about. Could I have a knowledge check on those?
Yeah, you could. You could roll local or history. Any of the five of you.
Okay, so this is with the book.
Since he's still in the room. Okay.
Just because this has become a meme at this point.
You gotta give Kato a trait that
Nobility
lets him use
check,
knowledge, nobility for everything. So we got 29, 31, 33. Okay, yeah. You open the book, you ask about the Defaced Sisters. The book gives you meta knowledge, basically. So it flips through immediately, and Senia starts thinking, and then Senia sees the banner of the Tiger Lords just openly displayed on one of the pages. It's probably more than a little jarring. The Defaced Sisters are a cabal of, not necessarily by class witches, but witches, all in service to Gurana. They form covens of their own. Several hags are included within the covens, and it would be wrong to say they exist to serve Gurana's will on the material plane, but like that's not a far stretch either. They are here to sow chaos and discord, basically, to tear apart civilization, which would probably explain why they are affiliated with the Tiger Lords. There are probably some amongst the Tiger Lords that don't like this, much like Kalira. The use of magic isn't necessarily forbidden, but it leaves a bad taste in the mouth, shall we say. Nevertheless, this is a clear and present indication that the Tiger Lords are moving against Concordia if they've installed a coven in the city walls. And yeah.
Does that answer your question, Tibor, out of character?
Well, no, I knew what was up. I was just being in character.
No, out of character, I'm asking.
Oh, yeah. No, I got it.
Senya. Kato turns his head over. Cocks his head over. These... what are they called? The
Defaced
Tiger Lord?
Sisters.
The Defaced Sisters. Did you come across these at all during the Tiger Lord's attack on your tribe?
You have not. This is an entirely new entity.
Okay.
The Tiger Lords typically treat... I'll use the Kalira term witchcraft, not the act of witchcraft, in much the same way that Kalira does. They don't need it. They've got the muscles. I'm just going to steal Kalira's character sheet. When you fight the Tiger Lords, it's 5 Kaliras. Go.
So I shake my head, and no, the attack on my village, I saw no magic there, just slaughter. This is new.
Well, I must say, we should be honored then if the Tiger Lords feel the need to resort to new and unusual methods to deal with us. Clearly, they don't think that they have the might to take us themselves. So
it's worth noting that we seem to be being pulled to meet them outside of the city, but we're also facing a lot of pressure to stay in the city and keep an eye on things here much closer. I still personally am not entirely unconvinced that we don't have somebody higher in the rank working against us.
I agree. In fact, while meeting them on the field of battle, I agree with the tax master. Can I still call you that? Without the mask, I'm not sure how to address you at this point. Artoris?
I would. Are you? Is this an in-character question?
Kind of, half and half.
God damn it.
I mean, out of character, I would probably prefer High Priest at this point.
High Priest. Oh, right, that makes sense. That's your rank. Okay. I agree with the High Priest. While I don't disagree that the right course of action would be maybe to meet them on the field of battle away from the citizens, I think we need more. We need more intel. We need more preparation, and time. Time is against us. And also, yes, I don't entirely believe that the internal threat may have left. Most of the cultists very likely have fled for their lives and safety, but any who are not yet discovered may still lurch in our gutters.
We may not have the time that you're speaking of. They may be on their way now.
Right.
Don't we have a guard named Lurch?
I mean,
No.
literally, as I
Not
was
yet.
doing this reading, we were on our way out to go see to our defaced cemetery. So yeah, we do have enemies here.
Yes.
That had to have happened recently.
All right. Well, we do need to act swiftly. I agree. But we need to act swiftly on many fronts. Many of us have unique skills and capabilities that we must leverage here urgently. So here's what
I apologize, Lord. Might I interject?
No, please, Madam Blackstack. We never
Go
hear
ahead.
enough from you. You're always just
Yes.
quiet in the back. Please, my dear, speak. Not you, Achilles. Oh, that was bad. Not you, Perlavash. I forgot that was a meme.
If Ionia has a concern that they may already be on their way here, perhaps we should send outriders to look for the armies that she has foresaw, and so we gain knowledge where they're going to be coming from, and we are more prepared to meet them in the field.
an excellent idea.
Even if they're not coming now, we need to keep scouts on the lookout because they could be coming at any moment.
Agreed. Kalira, Kato looks over to the halfling.
Halfling?
You're halfling, right?
No.
You're half elf.
She's got pointy
Isn't that
ears,
halfling?
not hairy feet.
Yeah,
Oh,
that a
those are
halfling?
those are two different things. Looks over to the half elf. I need you to rally the militia, get everyone together, get them in order, grab Rogue Squadron, and have them mounted up and out on scouting patrols to see if we can locate where the potential invasion may be coming from. In the meantime, as I said, we've formed a militia here. Get them whipped up, geared up, and I want you to also lock down the city. No one comes in. Set up a perimeter and lock down the city. No one once you have the militia suited up. No one enters and nobody leaves without the express permission of the council currently in session.
very well, but not that I am one to ever doubt the wisdom of our fearless leader, but that Outriders is not really my thing. That's more her thing.
Oh,
I mean,
fair enough.
Locking
Right.
down the city is fine. I mean,
all
I
right.
had plans for that. Sure.
Good call. Good call. Okay. Yes, I will. Sorry, I might have overestimated your capabilities. All right.
Will you,
I'm kidding.
Kalira, will you allow me to borrow your rogue squadron to go scout with me?
Those ideas aren't mine, but
When
yeah,
did they
I
become
mean,
Kalira's rogue?
they're not.
Yeah, they're not
mine.
hers.
But this is what I've been. This is what I came to you and asked you about not too long ago. Remember, I said you're probably going to need to want to try to recruit ones who can ride out into these fields as you do. So I hope you kept a sharp eye, huh? Yeah, you can take who you need. I don't care.
Perfect. Do not tell anyone that you are locking down the city until you have created the perimeter. That we cannot let this this leak.
There's
Senya,
also-
yes.
Our numbers are still fairly small. It might be worth having Artoris and Grinlock question each of the citizens just to be sure that everybody is who they say they are.
I could certainly have Grimluke be appointed to that task, but I thought my time might be better spent informing our allies the soot scales of what has transpired. I've always had a certain fondness and connection with their chief. I think it might be worth bringing
we will
this to
need
their
their
attention.
help in the coming battle, so it would be wise to keep them informed.
Agreed. Though I don't want to risk the life of Chief Sootscale for reasons yet to be revealed.
Is this just how you talk?
The hell is wrong with you?
I'm just...
Or he was just racked in the balls by a very powerful sword master.
I was.
He's getting his shit together still. Give him a minute.
Yeah. Very well, Artoris. If you would like to be the emissary to inform the Sootscales, go with haste and be safe.
In the meantime, I'm sorry, apologies, but should I have Grimluke and the Arbiter attend to looking into our citizens, or is that a bit premature?
No, it is. Here's what I would recommend. Since, yes, we do not know if anyone could potentially be lurking around. Ionia, I am going to give you the full authority of privacy invasion. Use
My
your...
favorite words.
I hereby give you authority to use your skills to their utmost potency to ensure that the rot of sabotage and scheming has truly been rooted out. Yes, Artoris, your companion will investigate on the surface level, while Ionia will dig in places that her magic would allow her to do.
I'd like to recruit Jubilost to help me. 12 miles is a pretty large area for me to scout on my own.
So be it.
Might I interject again, my lord?
Go ahead.
Perhaps we should revisit the Iruxa village to the south as well and seek their aid.
Yes, you have a relationship with at least one who they are actually caring for.
That is my hope, that he will finally listen to reason.
What I will say is,
That's a danger to them as well. The last time they didn't seem too eager to help us.
They were terrible people.
But it was the Tiger Lords that caused all the damage to them. The Tiger Lords are also their enemies.
Common enemy.
Yes, it is a common enemy. And if the Tiger Lords and their allies come here, the Iruxi may not be safe as well, as I'm sure the Tiger Lords will not forget that they were marched upon by the tribe in the past. So, yes, like in a common enemy, perhaps we can find an ally. As you send the Rogue Squadron to scout the perimeters and try to find the location of this invading threat, should it be feasible to make the trip, I would agree that you should make the connection with the Iruxi tribe to see what to barter perhaps an alliance with them against the coming doom. As for myself, once the lockdown has commenced, I would like to make an address to the citizens. If we can have everybody gathered in the, I guess it would be like the town square. Where do royal press releases happen?
We're not there yet. You could just have everybody come to the courtyard.
Yeah, the main courtyard.
Or like
all right, we'll have bring everyone into the castle. Actually, the courtyard's perfect because while they're there, it'll give you the opportunity to lock down the city. Yes, so have all the citizens issued into the courtyard for a royal decree. The utmost importance, attendance from all is mandatory.
All right. Might I suggest to you, you start your little investigation at the graveyard. If nothing else, that's probably the last place we know that they were, right?
That was my plan.
Good. All right, I need to go see a short green man about a bomb. If we're done, of course.
Yes, everyone has their assignments. Let's bring in the. Can we bring in the populace over the course of the next?
Before Kalira leaves, I'd like to stop her. I have something more to say.
Why are you talking like that? Are you casting a spell?
God damn it.
No, I'm not casting a spell. Holding the holy symbol of Sarenrae from Aisling still, I'll say to Kalira, I'm not Sarenrae's messenger, but I'll be the bigger person here. Your insults, hollow threats, and temper tantrums grow tiresome. It's not easy experiencing someone else's death and being stuck in their miserable skin for as long as I did. I did you a favor, and it took a lot out of me. I'm sorry if that was an inconvenience to you. The next time you want answers, go pray for them yourself. Use this, and I'll shove the holy symbol into her chest. Maybe she'll tell you what she told me. If not, try stabbing it, since that seems to work for you.
Kalira, the holy symbol is like hot coffee warm.
The hell is this? What am I supposed to do with this?
Ionia,
And what do you
holy
mean?
symbol
What do
is
you
not
mean?
warm at all.
Temper tantrum. This was your job.
I'm walking away at this point.
Cat fight.
All right, enough of that, Del. Okay, so to make sure I understand what's about to happen, Artoris is leaving Rooston, Senya is leaving Rooston. Yes.
Splitting the party.
Yeah, they're all gonna leave after the address gets given, though, because we need the.
Oh, hey, I'm on the map. Holy shit.
I gotta start moving tokens to different hexes. Because it's about to
I'm
get...
headed to the Soot Scale Caverns, yep.
Right. Alright, cool. Okay, kiddo, about... yeah, we'll say... It probably doesn't take that long to assemble the population of Rooston. The Arbiter begins floating. The Arbiter is a pretty common symbol / figure in Rooston presently, so no one, when he shows up and he's flying over the crowd, detect chaos, detect chaos, detect chaos. Occasionally he's like, chaos detected. Bakken will grumble a little bit about get off my land, and then float over here and back and forth. But nothing seems to come of it.
All right. So as everyone gathers and funnels in, Cato takes the stands upon one of the kind of the headstones of the courtyard, kind of the high place, and his council, all but Kalira in company, as Kalira is using this opportunity, this distraction, to ensure that the militia are positioned in a perimeter.
Oh, okay, got it. So while this is happening, Rogue Squadron is being sent out of Rooston, right?
Rogue Squadron is what?
No, Rogue Squadron is present. The army that we purchased through the militia that we've...
Right. Okay, cool.
Kalira is arming and armoring them, like getting them into, like getting them prepared, because it's not a standing army. It's a peasant militia. So. And
that peasant militia does encompass a large portion of the population of Rooston, though. So if you're wanting to have a meeting where everyone will hear it, you'll want to wait till she's done. Otherwise, you've got like a third of the town here. Everyone who's too young or too old.
Fair enough. Okay, so once everyone is ready, so Kalira would be in attendance then with the militia. Okay, that makes more sense. All right. And as the crowd gathers and hushes itself as Cato takes the a step forward. Citizens of Concordia, as you are all well aware, the dangers of the Stolen Lands are a very real thing. It is our responsibility and my sworn duty as your king to protect you, my people, against any and all perils that may threaten to bring harm upon you. This is a duty I do not take lightly. The safety and security of our kingdom is my highest priority. With that said, one such threat has been identified. Enemies that wish to take from us everything that we have built here, to bring our burgeoning kingdom to an end before we've even truly gotten it started. But rest assured, we will not allow this threat to our kingdom to go unanswered. We have already begun to take action to face this threat and exterminate it from our lands. In the meantime, for the safety of you, your families, friends, and neighbors, we are effective immediately instituting a kingdom-wide lockdown. No one is permitted to enter or leave the city without the express permission of myself or the Royal Council. This measure is only temporary while we address the coming threat. The travel restrictions will be lifted once it is safe to do so. Thank you, and be safe. Cato gives a wave and steps back down to where the small council is standing off to the
off to
just
the side.
below. Yeah, just below the
I'm going back to my ale.
With that said, before the crowd disperses, Cato calls over Oleg, if he wouldn't mind to have a chat.
Yeah, he's present, and he comes over, not realizing that there would be a giant troll attack. He's already a little under the influence, shall we say. And he shows up and says, "Oh, hey, my lord."
Oleg, one of our oldest friends and most valuable compatriots. How are you?
Oh, I'm real good. Real good. How are you? I've changed voices so many times since the first week of September. Oopsie.
Yeah, you sound nothing like yourself.
I can't do Ron Swanson when he's happy. It's a really hard voice for me to do.
Does Ron Swanson get happy?
Yeah, I've heard the joy.
Oh, yeah, no.
When he's making things and
Yeah, when he's making jokes, when he's tearing down the government.
Okay.
He's actually rocking. Destroying the beast from within.
I have a favor I need to ask of you. A very important one.
He nods. Stumbles a little, but nods.
As war appears to be upon us, I find myself in need of a new suit of armor to be made or acquired. However, my specific needs when it comes to this armor are a little more exotic in nature, if you will. Would you have the connections or capabilities to acquire a sufficient amount of mithril in which to create a... let me see. It is a chain coat.
Nods again. Kind of like what we're wearing in the fall, but to keep you from dying.
Exactly.
Wonderful. It's around this time you see Svetlana is just holding her bridge of her nose in her hands and shaking her head no.
We've just recently ordered the construction of a blacksmith. However, I do not know if we have the mithril in our possession, which would be the primary component for which this armor needs to be.
No, we need to get it from Restov, I'm sure. No magical mithril veins showing up in the middle of a magic pretty road here. Oh, no.
Fair enough. Would this be something that we could due to the impending, doom that may be upon us, is this something that we could have made in kind of as a rush request, so to speak?
Sure. I'll rush a trader right out to Restov right now. Except for the thing where you said no one could leave the town.
Without the express permission of present company.
All right.
Right?
Do you want me to go? Do you want me to send a lad?
A lad.
I've got plenty of lads around here, mad or otherwise.
Whatever you have been running the trade routes for our town for the past year. I will not tell you how to do your job. Obviously, what you deem best is how I would ask you to proceed.
Tell him to send someone. The ghost of Artoris is haunting you. The last people we sent up there died.
Didn't you just announce that we're on a lockdown and nobody should be
We covered that.
Yeah.
The ghost of Artoris is telling you the last people we sent died on their way back. Don't send him.
Well, no.
Send a messenger.
I assume he's going to send somebody. He's not going to go himself.
He just
like
asked
I said,
you.
And I told him that he's been managing, quote unquote, the trade within our town for the past year. Do what he feels is best, which I imagine is not going to be. I mean, if he thinks that he should go.
It's been quite a year yet.
But what if he does? What if he's like, I'll go myself? This is a request right from the king. I'll go. And no, I'm telling you, please make it clear you don't want him to go. Please, I'm begging you.
Send your most. All right, fine. Send your most trusted lad.
Lad.
Kalira.
My most trusted lad, Kalira.
And Kalira can provide a small bodyguard to ensure that his safety during the trip.
Sending guards to help you
So
to do your
Tommy,
shopping. What?
what I'm looking to have made here, I think I just kind of told you already. So
Yeah.
it is a
Mithril chain coat.
mithril chain coat,
Gotcha.
which will run. So mithril medium armor is a 4,000 gold premium. I believe is the price for
Yeah.
that special material for medium.
I mean, while we're doing this, can I get in on this order? 'Cause I was
Yeah, I have stuff I
like-
need to order too.
what is this?
If we're
I know,
sending
right?
someone with our money out shopping before the big fight, can I also please?
That was like making sure that only he gets stuff and then everyone else is
No.
locked
But I
out.
put this was part of my
Sold the
reflection.
guy.
This was part of my reflection. You guys didn't mention wanting to buy anything in your
I did actually. I mentioned
still
my
doing
armor
reflection.
change. And,
Fine. Put,
I mean, we've just been talking about my upgrades for several sessions. That was all.
Yeah.
fucking
But that's cool,
Or
Del,
not
though. You
fucking.
know, you're shopping.
Oleg, grab a parchment and a quill, because we're gonna need to make a list.
Fucking dead.
I thought this was all going to wait until after the battle, is what I
I
thought.
did
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, me too.
But if we're gonna try to slip a runner behind enemy lines,
Right,
to get
Actually, maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I'll keep my money.
right.
I need armor. This armor is not hacking for me anymore.
Dude, Del, when is the last time you got hit? What are you talking about?
That's true.
Like, you're living in a fantasy world right now where you are somehow this like paper tiger who gets destroyed every battle. Like, what? Like, you got like, what are you talking about right now?
First of all, I am very vulnerable to flat-footed AC. Anything that uses my flat-footed AC, and armor would severely improve that.
Is this about locking?
Wow.
Why don't you just buy like a normal chain shirt from Oleg for now, and then just do this after? Because what if you send all your $5,000 up there and it gets intercepted by a Tiger Lord thing and we lose it all?
Yeah, remember when you tried to buy that carriage?
Poor
Hey,
Chester.
we got the carriage.
We got
back.
Chester.
Oh, we got Chester.
Did we?
Yeah.
And we've used
Lost
it
the horses.
so much.
Hey,
That was a good
Chester
investment
Tommy,
there.
what is-
talking about him? Chester.
What is the real what is the real danger of sending this this shopping request out?
I mean, really?
Is there a check that we can do?
this is where someone would.
Do you want me to like get that that arrow that I did object reading on before and like relive that for you again?
This is
You want
where
me to go
incredible.
through my bad times for you, Kato? I'll do it. I guess. Oh, God. The more and more I play First Edition Pathfinder, the more and more I think that there should be an insight check. But I'm gonna say sense motive. We're shooting to get a hunch right now. Anyone who wants to roll sense motive.
Oh yeah, for a hunch, right?
Yeah.
My sense motive is insane. So,
Exactly. So George's like, don't do that.
oh wow, you rolled really good too.
I don't need to see anymore. Ionia basically had this. It just
Ah.
I wanted to see if Ionia had any kind of
Flex.
presence there. So you were informed by a powerful thing that knew you were going to object read into something and therefore said something, so you would hear it through someone else's ears and eventually your own when your consciousness went directly into the Ankh that now Kalira is carrying, that you have time to act if you act right now. Going shopping in a town a couple weeks away is the antithesis of you have time to act if you act right now.
I know, man. They never listened to
They
me.
never listen to you. That's like half a Kingmaker.
Oh, I thought
Should have
you could
listened
get-
to Ionia.
I thought he could get there and back in like a day.
A
Are you
day?
kidding?
What?
To rest off? Do you remember how long it took us to get down here?
Yeah, but we didn't have a magical road of Abadar.
Magical Road of Abadar is not
I
like
don't know
not
how
an
much
escalator. It's not the interstate.
Yeah, it's not like in an airport where you stand on it
Right.
and
Yeah, you just stand on that bad boy and it just rolls you
It's
down.
not, it's not
All
the
right.
Viridian City Gym.
it's just a regular fucking road.
To be
man.
clear, Abadar could make such a road. If he
But he didn't. Though. He
Yeah,
just gave
it's
us a
fair.
regular old road.
Yeah, why didn't he give us like a train or something?
Why didn't he give us
Train.
technology?
Why did he
Not
give us a
worshipping Bri.
coal
He
burning
should've-
engine?
You should have worshipped Bri. Bri would have
We
done
had
that for you.
Yeah.
If we had a coal burning engine, we could use that to defend ourselves against trolls easy.
Steampunk Empire. You put them in the engine, they burn up. It's a foolproof plan. Correct. But you probably don't have time to do any real shopping. No, you maybe,
then I will just
maybe could bop over to Amalia's real quick and be like, "Here's 1,000 gold. What can you make in 8 hours?" And maybe show up in time to participate in whatever's about to happen.
Well, I had something else for Amalia.
The king has returned. The king has returned. The king has returned.
And everyone's dead but the trolls.
Hold on. We had actually. This is a good time to ask you this, Tommy.
Sure.
The accessories, the weapon accessories that we got that add an enchantment to our weapons, like the answering pommel or the scales for Kate or for Artorsis crossbow. Do those count as are you counting those as like a proper like enchantments, or are those just like a temporary, like are those like removable accessories that could be like taken off and move to a different weapon?
Both are true. They if you were to go sell your +1 answering dueling sword, it would go for 8,000 gold and change as a +2 weapon. But if you ever decide to change weapons, or if like Artoris gets a different crossbow, or Kalira wants to go from a different kind of weapon to a different kind of weapon, you can pop off, put on somewhere else. It also explains why we didn't have to spend a month of downtime magic crafting to make it happen. Think like Diablo 2 sockets, I guess.
Abadar provides.
Abadar provides them
What?
sockets.
You mean some Eldritch Horror provided?
Zarim provides.
Some little halfling guy that got eat.
Zarim is a Dragon Lich now. We're doing it.
The question then, I guess, that the follow-up question to that, okay, so that's cool. That's question one. Question two is, and when it comes to further enhancing the weapon.
Here's the metagaming question.
The metagaming question. So if I wanted to add a +2, and it's just a +1 dueling sword and it has the answering pommel.
Right.
Add like an enchantment to the weapon, would that
cost you as if we were going from 2 to 3?
But what if I remove the pommel first?
There it is. Tommy's like, I gave you this nice thing that you can move from weapon to
weapon. I'm trying to break the game with it. Hold
Dell
on.
realizes he now is missing parts. Bakken did not have the sheath on when he did it. Oopsie oopsie. You will have no hair, you metagaming nerd. No, it doesn't work.
Because I have 2 swords, right? I have my old one and I have the magical one. So I could move the pommel to the other sword. I could enchant the first sword and then put the pommel back on the old sword.
Kato's enchantment is now stuck to his sword.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, what
Is that what you wanted?
No, that's not what I wanted. All right,
you don't get
fair
the
enough.
cheat.
So
You got a thing free.
Yes. Okay. So it would be a +3 then for the next one.
So disappointed, poor guy.
I respect that he had the gall to ask him to his face,
Right.
and not just be like,
not just
Like he
try to
had the
slide
gall
it.
to ask me what the Stag Lord's AC was
Dude,
so long
we
ago.
all
"Oh, I remember that."
This wasn't just me. We all talked about this.
I know, but you had to know the answer.
No, we had to find out. I took the bullet. It's fine for everybody.
Thanks, Del. We appreciate you, buddy.
Just so you know, Tommy, I wasn't the one who thought of
The
this.
trolls are attacking because you deliberated. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, DM, I do have a relevant question.
Okay, sure.
The dragon scale stuff, is that done?
Yes.
I
Anybody
feel like it's been a while since.
anybody who wants it on their gear may now have it on their gear. It will piss
And
off.
there's a dragon hide armor as well, right?
Yes. The only real mechanical function of Dragonhide armor is a druid could get Dragonhide armor made out of something that is normally metal and get to cheat the requirements for not... Like, you're not wearing metal armor, you're wearing dragon scales! The armor itself has a little bit of acid resistance because it came from a green dragon, but it does not confer that resistance, like, on the wearer.
Right.
And also, if a green dragon or someone who really likes green dragons sees you wearing it, they're gonna get really, really pissed. And just to kick it out, because I know how much the Reclaimers love their moral dilemmas, you are wearing the skin of a sentient creature. I will sit back as the rest of the session passes, and you argue that.
Would people around here actually, like, protest to that, though?
Probably.
I mean, the kobolds are about to recruit the help of might.
The kobolds might, the Uruxi might be like, that's weird, that's a sentient thing.
How many
Amalia
of those
will probably think something smartassy, whether or not she says it is remains to be seen. Jubilost will say and think something smartassy. How green is certainly your color, Kalira! Oh!
I'm not wearing anything. What? How many of those grips did we get? I forgot.
I forget the exact number, but I'm gonna say everyone can have it on their armor and their weapon if they would like, because it doesn't really do a lot of mechanical anything. It's basically just if you want to carry around that bit of glory from the fight with the dragon, you may do so.
Doesn't it give a +1 CMD against disarm attempts? That's it. I think that's the whole entire mechanical.
Also, right, which will almost certainly never. It might come up for Kato at some point when you go swashbuckling in Restov.
Right.
Rumspringer!
All right, so now that shopping is out of the equation, at least shopping for exotic goods, we do have local
Businesses.
wares, right?
You have
I'm going
Yeah.
to
the traders that come in and stop at Oleg's, basically.
until I can get my proper armor crafted, and Kato's going to look over to Ionia. I know you expressed interest to lay claim to the +2 chain shirt that we looted back in the cave. If I were to
I think that's
compensate
what
you.
wearing.
Is that what you did? You equip it already?
she put it on in the
right.
cave. Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's like looking at her chain shirt.
I thought it was still in party loot.
I know you
It's not
really
something
wanted
like
that chain shirt. I know you said you wanted it. She actively has her battle gear on.
I thought it was still in party loot.
Oh, I'm wearing.
Never mind. If you already claimed it, okay, then retract statement.
Yeah, like I already got rid of my old armor and everything.
On my scale mail, because I took that off. That's
No.
medium and yeah,
No,
not a
that's
me
not
thrill.
Would deny Kato all his
It
class
makes him
features.
slow. It makes him slow.
Turns him from a
Well-
paper tiger to a shit tortoise real fast.
No, I can use medium if it's mithril. Otherwise, I have to use light armor. All right. I guess I will just have a normal masterwork, I guess, for the chain shirt made, or if we can get one of those quickly from our smithy.
Master chain shirt.
Yeah.
Our Taurus does now. I'm so sorry. It'll come down to if the dice like ya. Do the dice like ya? My roll 20's hanging. The dice don't like ya. You can get a regular chain shirt because there is one readily available, or you could wait like 24 hours for somebody to whip up a masterwork chain shirt. Certainly you could put the order in now.
Oh, 24 hours is fine. We're gonna do some scouting and some calling of allies, so I'm okay with that.
Okay.
As long as I can get it for the battle.
Alrighty, so
I don't know how long this all took, but I set off for the cave like a long.
You're already at Nettles Crossing, dude. Don't worry about it.
Did we have we
You
needed
overshot it
doors.
then.
I know. I ran right past it.
Okay, so then Arcturus is leaving. Senia, you leaving?
Yep.
Senia's going to the Urusi village.
I am going to
We might
for
want to
Opolis.
swap some potions.
Oh wait, you know what we could do? Jod could come with us to battle.
And John should come with us to battle.
He just wants to get Chad killed.
Well, no, because he heals.
But not Renla.
I would hate for anything to happen to my dear friend Jod.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but he
Mhm.
does heal, and since we can't get wands of cure lesser wounds or whatever right now, it would be a prudent decision to have. We might also want to see if Amalia's home. She might help us. She's pretty strong.
Oh, that's what I'm going to be doing while you guys. are
Oh
all...
God damn it!
That's not gonna work.
Wait! Before Kato goes to see Amalia, I have something to say to you as well.
Don't.
That would be the prudent move, but
It would be all the words would be good, and we should probably have people leave around the same time ish. We're
Right.
playing Battleship.
Don't worry, I will be on my best behavior. I'm not going to do anything weird. I just have a favor to ask of her.
Well, it's just
What?
I was troubled by the voice that I heard from Ashling's holy symbol. It seemed
Oh.
well intentioned, but it shouldn't have known that I could hear it. And I don't know how it's been found out, but we need to be very careful moving forward. I've seen people in disguises here in Ruston, and Amalia was among them. I don't know what her intentions were, and I was able to, at least at the time, recognize that it was her. But I did find her in disguise here.
Skulking around Rooston.
Right.
Hmm.
We need to be careful who we trust. Even our own allies could betray us. We don't know who our friends are right now.
There's a
Very
quick
good.
point of order, because I'm trying to recall. When was the time we went to her hut and she was just like mysteriously gone? What were we? Is that when we
Oh,
were on
after
our way
the
to fight
trolls.
the trolls? Yeah.
Yeah.
She just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I think it was when we came back from that I found her in Ruston.
Yeah, it was. He's up to something.
Before I actually make this trip out to Amalia, since this is a games mechanic thing, how long does it take to add a weapon enchantment to a weapon?
1 day per 1,000 gold pieces of the total price.
You said
Oh, really?
That's why you said 8 hours. See what you can do with the 8 hours.
Minimum of 8 hours, because if you're a construct or something, you don't get to cheat by just like mainlining caffeine and staying up forever. Which is why it's probably best for you guys from here forward, since everyone has a +2 weapon, except for I think the occultist, who's not really trying to stab anybody anyway.
I don't have one yet because I haven't got my crossbow in.
Well, what was the ones that we got from Oleg?
Masterwork.
Oh, those were just masterwork.
Those are masterwork, yeah.
So since it'll take a long time, it's best probably to do your enchanting during kingdom phases. Otherwise, you're going to be running around without a weapon for a while.
For the record, though, I definitely am trying to stab people.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Fully intend to.
24 hours per day. Oh, that would
One of
be
these
9
days I'll have a
days.
beat on the occultist.
Ugh.
You're just trying to sneak a quick
Yes.
kingdom phase before this battle, aren't you?
That's what he's
Leah?
gonna say. He's about. Hey guys, I was just thinking maybe we shouldn't just be in such a hurry. Maybe we just take a month.
The one thing we should do is we should stock up on potions.
Potions and alchemist fires.
I'm
not gonna be.
I have an idea.
Can you just take my alchemist fires, Kato? I have 7 of them. Can I just in character just have transferred those to you because I want them off my?
I'll take them.
Is it possible? Is it possible to maybe we could send a few people out to the Temple of the Elk, see if we can scoop up some of that water. I mean, we could use that. I mean, they probably won't do much for us, but for the militia, it might be something.
Oh wait, I have
We should like regularly be doing that. Why aren't we just funneling all that?
Because you be hating on them.
I thought there was something about like it couldn't be bottled; it had to be drank from.
That's why I couldn't remember. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that would be why. Maybe that's why we're not.
Yeah, because I think
we.
we had that thought initially, and Tommy was like, "No exploits, please."
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
pretty much.
that sounds right.
Never mind. I don't know how magic works. Fuck it.
Kato unscrews his pommel before handing the sword to the.
The pommel breaks.
Believe that should change the price.
It's significantly less ornate now.
Okay,
Are we?
so
In
Senny
this
is
case,
gonna go talk to the Aruxi. Taurus is going to the Soot Scales.
Oh yeah.
Kato's going to Amalia's house.
not anymore.
9 more.
Wait, we can't do what I need her to do in the time given. So.
Should still ask her to come fight with us.
Yeah.
Can we trust her? All right, fine. I'll go to
trust anyone?
Amalia. That's true.
Is-
I'll go to
Is
Amalia.
Kato the best person to send?
We don't got no one else.
Amalia?
But we all left. That's
I
the
mean,
problem.
honestly, probably not. But I think
He's the only one left.
somehow
Literally.
Arcane has nothing to do, and the rest of us are busy as fuck.
Well, I delegated. That's what good leaders do, right?
And I
No, look.
delegated, and
All
then I
that's
went
left is
see
to go to
my-
Amalia's hut. I guess I'll go.
I guess I'll take that bullet. Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to talk to Bakken.
Okay, and so it was.
Hey, man, I used to call you freeloader, but I suppose you have a job now, huh?
I used to call you Savage Beast, but... Well, here you are. What can I do for you, Madam Warden?
How would you like to blow up something?
I did not think that's where that was going. Fair enough, I thought I was going to be threatened. I assume you want me to do something about the predicaments outside.
Well, yes. There's a big hole under our town, and I need you to, well, make it not exist anymore. That would be. And there's an idol down there on the. Yeah, we want to blow that up too. Could I be there for that? I think I would enjoy that.
Sure, why not? A little bit of demolition really gets the blood pumping.
Oh yes, it's gonna be good. So yeah, I want to show up that hole. So I'm going to ask for your concoction, since you so elegantly put it. I do not have the skill to use them myself.
Fair enough. My concoctions are yours. Let's go destroy some creepy shrine. And he begins heading in the direction of the house. Assuming you will follow him.
Sorry, you missed it, Arturus.
He's not even. He's gone.
I know. That's why I said it. I said that out of character.
So last but not least, where is Ionia when all of this is happening?
Well, I should be checking out the cemetery. I don't really want to do this alone, though, because, we have a history of things going poorly at the cemetery.
You always have your dog with you. Like you always remind us.
You know what? I'm gonna go in invisibility.
Okay, so you want to physically go to the cemetery?
Well, yeah, no, that's a good point. I'll get like a little less than a mile away. I'm gonna cast. I don't know if I can do both of these. Can I cast Vanish and also use my Mind Eye at the same time?
Yeah, because Mind's Eye is not attacking. You won't break invisibility.
No, I lied. I'm gonna cast Invisibility Sphere so that Minoru is with me.
Okay, cool.
Wait, you have a group invisibility?
We just leveled up.
I was
gonna
say,
through and read my entire character sheet to everybody like you did.
I was like, I was almost gonna get mad at you. It's like this.
Oh my goodness!
I didn't actually get anything for level 7. I just have all these things I've been holding out on you on.
She realizes she should uppercast her level. That's what she got for level 7.
That's true. That's what I got was an improved caster level.
By 3. Okay, cool. So Ionia and Doggo are going to the cemetery. I hate to ask this of the Reclaimers because I know what we're about to run into, and I apologize everyone who's watching on YouTube, but I want to be double great for the both of us doing. Is there any other preparation?
I did want to get potions. We didn't get potions.
Okay. We talked about. So yeah, we want to. So you gave me. Taurus gave me his Alchemist Fire. I actually have a few potions on me, but we should probably just buy.
Well, we only have 2 light and 1 moderate in our party loot, and I think we should have a stock because I can no longer heal.
Wait, at all?
I can no longer heal. I got sick of being the healer, guys.
So now we have no healer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not yet, but
Kano,
as soon as we have a
multi-class life oracle, you'll be fine.
As soon as we have wands, though, we're good.
We're going into a war, and we don't have a healer.
I mean,
all
to
right,
be
Jod's
fair,
coming.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
If we have to
bring Jod,
if we have to, like, drag him to the front lines,
I'm sure he would be happy to come. Like, it's honestly something we should have done, even in the fight against the Stagler. We should have brought.
Probably.
I think he was busy.
No, you guys wanted him to stay behind, and you brought only
oddly
those
enough
to
back
sacrifice the kobolds and Keston and Co.
Yeah, oddly enough, back then Esker was all about keeping Jod alive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had some.
Now, well, wait, we're gonna blame me.
Do you guys remember when?
No, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying.
Taurus was like, "Oh, you're such a nice guy. I like you so much. Like I've been hanging out with these losers, but you seem decent."
I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, now he's turned into a jerk. He's a jerk. I'm not.
He's not a jerk.
I gave him his dumb holiday, and he's still complaining. He is a jerk.
He's not a jerk.
Anyway,
Bakken is indisposed at the moment, but has 1 potion of Cure Light Wounds, caster level 5th, 2 potions of Cure Moderate Wounds, caster level 10th, 2 potions of Cure Serious Wounds, caster level 10th, readily available at the shop.
All right.
In addition, as you go to depart, Jubilos, my dear, please, allow me to go with you. I don't want, and looks over at Minoru, gives Minoru a scritch. I should hate it if anything were to happen to my favoriteest, goodest boy Minoru, and goes to, like, scritch him on the belly, and all that
See,
fun stuff.
this is why I like you. You're the only one who gets it.
Weren't you guys supposed to split up to cover more?
You know what,
Round
man? You let me do my job, okay?
I mean, as long as you
Ghost
do well.
of Cato hovers. Weren't you supposed to split up?
Just for the cemetery, because I'm worried that there might be something heavy going on there, and then we'll split up after that to actually scan the town itself.
Okay, works for me. So then, as events progress...
And how much is Bakken charging for these potions?
He's not. They're stuff he's made with his own income, basically.
Ew.
So as things progress, Kato and Senia are together, because the path goes that way, right? You're going to get to Amalia's before you get to the village. Same is true for Arcturus and Ionia and Jubilost. The graveyard is basically right off the road. And first things first, we're gonna deal with those three first, if it please the court. By the powers vested in me by the Inner Sea region and Paizo Productions, I am gonna grab Jubilost's sheet. Can I get those listed out? Oh, damn it. Somebody list those out for me. The first one was Cure Light, Caster... Well, I'll just do it real quick.
1 light, 2 moderate, 2 serious. Is that right?
Caster level
Do
5,
the
10,
caster
and 10.
levels affect anything?
They were all 10.
5, 10, and 10.
Yeah, they do. They
Caster
affect
level
the...
on Cure Light Wounds maxes out at 5.
Yeah, it was 5, 10, 10.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, oh, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I guess first things first, let me get perception checks for the graveyard crew.
Rip.
That's funny. That was a pun.
It was. I didn't even mean to do it.
And I don't imagine that Minoru can contribute to this since it's at a distance, right?
He can. He can.
He's smelling.
Big nose.
Big heckin' nose.
His nose is proportionate.
And Arcturus, if you want to stop here as well, you can.
Oh, yeah, it would have been the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Now I'll just leave you to it. I'm gonna keep going on my
See
way.
you, Ionia. Bye.
So y'all can smell the smell of like upturned fresh earth, and it has been raining for a few days. Kind of like intermittently, at least sprinkling, at most pretty big downpours. The ground is like off Abadar's road is pretty gross. But from where you're standing inside Ionia's invisibility sphere, essentially, you can see that the entirety of the graveyard has been like destroyed. The walls have been torn apart. Bits of like actual headstones lie all across the place. You can see where like piles of dirt have been moved, kind of like when you push snow to the center of a parking lot, or to the corner of a parking lot. It makes more sense to like clear a parking lot. So too with dirt. It doesn't take matter of fact. I'm gonna roll a D2 for it because I want it to be one of the human PCs. 1D2, boom. In fact, it is Ionia. As she's walking forward, you stumble as you realize that that's, in fact, not a hole that you've accidentally stepped in, but an enormous bear track. About 8 times the size. Not quite 8. About 4 times the size.
I'll look up at Jubilost and just say the owl bear.
Yes, that's precisely what that is. By the gods, how did they get it so big?
Ashling had said something about how it had become an abomination.
I see. What do you think that means?
Well, I think it's probably worse than a regular owl bear.
Who has all of that animal talking stuff?
Yeah, I was gonna say the
You have it, right?
No one has in the loot.
The guy. Let me find his name. Okay, I have this token. There was an imprint on the token. The owner of the owl bear had befriended it. Well, I guess it wasn't really an owner, more of a camaraderie, whatever. Anyways, he had all of this stuff to talk to animals. So maybe this thing can be reasoned with. Maybe we just need to be real friendly with it.
I
don't know.
Yeah,
It might
go up
be-
and say hi.
Might be worth a shot.
I mean, Senya's got better animal handling. This is your time to shine, Senya.
She's not here.
I'm
She's
not
not
here.
there.
She says to herself, looking around like in the direction that Senya might be.
I'm just kind of looking at you as you say
Well,
that.
you guys keep interjecting like you're here, and it confuses me. Okay.
Yeah.
So as part of my I don't see any movement though. I just see the devastation of the land.
Yes, but you wouldn't like have. There's not a lot of line of sight out past the graveyard. This is partially because it's raining, and partially because the land is hilly enough. Certainly, things could be behind like hills or trees or junk, and you wouldn't know.
Oh, that's right.
You don't hear anything as the conversation is going on. Jubilost turns and just, my dear, I am all for conjecture, but I believe the spell you cast has a very limited duration, and we are a little exposed here. Might I suggest either we hurry, or perhaps we prepare for inevitable ends?
I mean, we have 7 minutes. How many minutes has it been?
Probably like 2 has passed so far.
Okay, we've got a little bit of time. I want to check out these tracks. How old do they look?
Pretty fresh. As much as
Fresh
it's been
as-
raining, like they'd have been washed away by now. They probably will be in a few hours.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
and it was only a few hours ago that we got the message that the cemetery had been like ransacked.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see any other tracks, or does it look like this was just the owlbear?
That would be a survival check. Man, y'all sent the right people to this one. Damn.
Bam.
Get it, Artoris. Well, it's not my best.
Oh yeah,
yet, but I'll
plus
give it-
half level to identify not tracks.
So I'm like, man, you sent the best people for this. So that's a 35, 37, 39. I have been selling you guys a little short. It's actually a 41, I assume, per Lavash OP. Okay, so you look around, and indeed there are tracks that are considerably older. It lines up pretty perfectly in Artoris's mind that the creature is probably still very nearby. The track that Ionia is standing in is recent. There are tracks around that are many more hours old, which probably lines up from when then somebody shows up, the graveyard's been ransacked, then they run back, but the owlbear is still stalking around here.
All right, I'm immediately going to tell Ionia and Jubilos to return to town and report that the owlbear did this and that it's likely still around.
Do you think it's something we need to concern ourselves with now, or can this wait?
It'll have to wait. We can't deal with this ourselves, and we'll need, if anything, even if we're going to resolve this in some way that doesn't involve killing it and putting it out of its unfortunate, we'll need the supplies from his previous.
I mean, the thing I'm concerned about, and granted this is small scale compared to everything else, is if it's been messing around this area, if it's hungry, it may dig up our dead and do what owlbears do. But I guess that's...
I would love to stop it and reason with it and try and recruit it. Believe me.
You're right, it's not the time for that. Okay, let's go back to town.
He's not retraining Sanctified Slayer. Or he's retraining Sanctified Slayer, not Sacred Huntmaster.
Right. Right.
Okay, so as y'all go to turn around, you see it turn the corner.
Oh, fuck.
It's enormous. About the size of what is a huge thing that everyone in the party has definitely seen. It's about...
The green dragon.
No, the green dragon was only large. It's bigger than Zarum.
Okay, we're not reasoning with this thing.
Not small. It sniffs the air. There's a growl that like vibratos with a hoot.
Is it standing between us and the way back to town?
No. But it's probably close enough that you're going to want to have some kind of contingency prepared, because when invisibility drops, unless you like quickly find a place to hide kind of thing, it could see you. Certainly if the wind were to turn, it could smell you now.
Would
Glad
it
you guys
be
dawdled for so long?
Would it be possible if we went to the Sootskill Caverns together? Would that be in the opposite direction? Could we just leave this thing?
You'd be kind of the same, like, here's what I'll do. I'll put it on the world map. The map is not really to scale. Where are you, buddy? Hello, big owlbear. Should be right next to Mirden. No, okay, never mind. Hello, big friendo. Hello, big friendo. I could just use a random NPC. It could be an Earth Elemental, or a Darrow, or it could be Trazen the Infinite. All of these are good choices, but where's this fucking owlbear? There we go. Okay. Shabam! Like I said, it's not the scale. Let's all not panic at once.
He's an entire hex.
Yeah,
It's 12 miles.
Godzilla.
And it's about right there in relation to where the three of you are.
Okay.
I mean, so we can just head back into town.
Well, I mean, this is not. We're not having this discussion in character, but the worry is that the wind shifts and then it's like, hey, and then it would very easily catch up.
Okay, so what we want to do is
as I quickly grab the ruler, whether it wants to be whoever comes down first will be the arbiter of your fate, but I'd rather it not be me. One of you two roll a d8 to determine the direction of the wind. If it's this way, that's
you want to roll it.
Here's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good roll.
5. So it does kind of pick something up, but it's not really sure what it is, but it does start moving your direction. It's not moving right at you, and the wind is carrying you back towards Rooston. So possibly maybe it could pass by you if you're careful. As it stands, it won't be much longer before it gets too close and it'll know where you are.
Yeah, you want to head towards Rooston.
But we don't want it to follow our scent.
But if the wind is blowing at your backs, it's not going to be able to. It's going to be harder for it to pick up your scent.
Right, if we go around it, then it's going to blow right into it.
That's true. Okay, well,
I guess I'm not going to the Sitsko Caverns after all.
No,
I am headed home.
You can do it, man.
I would rather. I mean, part of me thinks it's big and dumb, and I could get a will save one of my enchantments on it, and this could be no problem. But part of me thinks that that's really stupid, and I should just run and get the hell out of
roll
here.
knowledge nature.
Oh yeah, I have a thing.
Monster lore.
Actually, wait, it's even better. That be part of the thing that I get a bonus for being Inquisitor?
Yeah.
Weakness of a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you? Suspense is killing me.
Oh, it's
there
killing
it is.
all of us.
23 plus, what is it, 5?
Yeah, okay, so you guys know, as you're looking at it, it's still as magical as an owlbear was, and nothing has, like, really changed it. It's a monster now. It was probably just bits of fear from a dying girl's mind. You're not exactly sure what in the hell happened to it, but it's still big and lumbering, and, well, you know, hold on. 19, we got a 28, 32, so 3 questions.
Okay.
One of which sounds like it's a will save.
Yeah, so let's go ahead with the will save.
Plus 9. So not the best in the world, but its fortitude
Definitely
is
no
much better
slouch.
at plus 15. But it could fall for something. As you're having this conversation, Jubilost is whispering to himself about all the different kinds of illusions he could spam up to make the owlbear look the other way right now.
Second question
Jubilost,
would...
do you have the ability
Let him get his question.
to make illusory sense?
Hold on, my dear. Let me check my spell list. I think why? Yes, indeed.
Okay, so that's something to keep in mind.
Sound, smell, thermal illusions are included in the spell effect. This is, in fact, how I was able to create the wine that you consumed earlier. This could work. Granted, if it sees through it, we're in a lot of danger, and it will only last for so long. But
could I recognize what's been done to it? Is it like is it an enlarged spell? Like, is that maybe a different kind of check? Is that a question that I could ask as part of...
That's about right. You can tell that the creature is, and owlbears are pretty cantankerous, like by virtue of their creation. They want to kill and eat anything that moves. This one is like almost like as if there were pins and needles under its hide poking into it to make it just like constantly pissed off as it stalks through. As if on cue, it steps towards one of the headstones and just bats it aside and it falls away effortlessly. Other than that, something along the lines of like maybe animal growth or atavism or something like that made permanent.
So, do we have one of those animal talking potions with us?
Well, we have it in party loot, but I don't...
Would it be okay to say that you have one? Because, I mean, you have Minoru. It wouldn't be out of the question that you would have taken one.
I did show interest in taking one. I don't know.
Is that okay, Tommy?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
And you can dispel magic. What if we dispelled whatever was put on it and you tried talking to it?
Oh, I don't know what I would say anymore.
Worst case scenario, I feel okay about my...
Maybe.
This would be a terrible time to TPK your little party.
He won't be TPK'd. I think the illusions, like its will save is low enough. It's not like a chump, but it's not high enough. I think we're totally screwed. With Jubilost and myself here. If it's been like cursed in some fashion, or I guess, wait, does Dispel Magic work on curses? Or does that take, or am I getting 5e mixed up? And that's like remove curse.
Yeah, Dispel Magic would work.
Okay.
You would roll a caster level check against whatever's been put on it, and in theory, you could dispel it. There's a possibility of failure, but you wouldn't be targeting its will save. You would be targeting the caster level of
whoever put it on it, yeah.
Right. And it does appear there are multiple things on it, so it would target the weakest one first. You assume is whatever's made it angry.
Here's a problem. I already used my one level 3 spell slot with the invisibility sphere
that you're presently standing under.
I've never been so disappointed out of character. Do you still have that? You have that one that's like 10 feet, though, right?
Can't get that to level 11.
Mother of God.
Alternatively, we could just cast invisibility. I know you can. Noble master of tax, I can as well. Ionia, my dear, something for you and the dog? Your own invisibility magic?
I can make myself vanish.
No, it's going to get 8.
Yeah, bye, Minoru.
I mean, the problem is just I've already cast the sphere.
Certainly, the Taxmaster and I could both spend some of our own resources for your sake. I'm sure as the owlbear kind of stalks closer your direction, I'm quite sure he would agree to this.
Yeah, I can make Minoru and I vanish.
Alright, yeah, at this point, Jubilost, maybe it would be wise to throw it off, and then I will cast invisibility on myself. You're good for you and Minoru, Ionia?
Yeah, I don't quite understand the plan, though.
We're running and getting the hell out of here.
We're just running, okay.
Yeah. You do have one more question about the owlbear.
How fast does it run?
I mean...
It's pretty. We saw the owlbear, how fast the other owlbear was. It's pretty fucking fast.
And this one's even bigger, so... what would my final question be? We know it's been magically enchanted or cursed. We know that it's got a low will save, which would explain how it was magically enchanted or cursed. And let's go with... I already know that they're intelligent. Do you have anything? Anyone else have any ideas real quick?
There can be a slight amount of metagaming here. Ghost of Kato, Ghost of Senia, Ghost of Kalira.
Right, anyone want to know its AC or something like that?
We have so many force projections in this game.
Yeah.
I mean... No, I don't really have any questions.
Ooh, also, Vanish only lasts for 5 rounds.
Yeah, Vanish does. So you're going to need to get the hell out.
I mean, Minoru and I are pretty fast now, though. If we have time to prepare.
How long is your sphere of invisibility? You should probably be making use of that.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to expend 2 mental focus to give Minoru and I both. Well, actually, I can do this for all of us. I'll give all 4 of us quickness. I'm not going to give it to Parlavash because Parlavash can fly.
Okay, works for me. And that is what though?
My final question, I guess, would just be how does it have any immunities?
Not a one.
Okay.
All right, my dear. Any requests? What do you think this thing likes to eat?
It likes to eat bodies.
Yes, you're so right.
Flesh
and
of some
image
kind.
of Kato, stark naked,
Wow.
just like right next to Senia. Just look at me! I'm the king, and I'm making loud noises. Someone help me! Oh shit! And the owlbear turns. Y'all are invisible. Jubilost is in the sphere. And this is maybe the most important dice roll of Kingmaker. I'm not looking. I'm turning the other way. I'll let your reactions tell me.
Is high or low good or bad?
I'm not hearing any reactions. I'm
You don't know.
Well, because
Pretty average.
he beat the save.
The owlbear is able to see through the illusion. Yes. And he does see Jubilost. Do you guys want to intervene?
Is Jubilost not... Oh, he couldn't be invisible yet. I have 1 more Vanish I can cast on him.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Ooh, okay. I cast Pass Without a Trace on the whole party.
Okay, cool. So at this point, it's a matter of
So we can't be smelled, at least.
Jubilost versus the owlbear's initiative. If the owlbear goes first, Jubilost is going to have a little bit of a harder time getting away. That shouldn't be -6, that should be +6. We all see that the owlbear is going on count 10. Alright, Juby. I build dex-based characters all the time. You got this, buddy. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Shut up, kiddo. The owlbear is going to go first. The owlbear is going to get to him before he would have time to react, unfortunately. So now it comes down to he could try to get away, and at this point we probably bop over to Kato Senia as you two dip out, or we engage with the owlbear. And at this point we go into the mechanical part of Pathfinder. What do you two want to do?
Fight or flight?
Pretty much.
Well, we all have haste. So I think, and we have Pass Without a Trace. So all we have to do is get the owlbear off of Jubilost, get Jubilost invisible, and we're good.
Okay.
So we only have
Is that all?
That's all. That sounds.
This owlbear that's the size of a fucking house.
Probably
Or
bigger
big.
than some of the houses in town. Oh, no, the houses are all at least huge. Yeah, about the size of a house.
Well, what do you suggest? You just want to let him die?
Oh my, this is a bad idea. Alright, we're gonna try.
All right, roll initiative, you two. Good luck, have fun. Several hours of deliberation culminate in the start of the end of Book 2.
Oh my god, this is the book 2 boss.
That was an 8. I didn't have my
Arcturus has an Ocho and has a better mod than Jubilost, so we'll go before Jubilost. Because you probably just rolled like a 1. Oh, no, fair enough. But Ionia wins on a 14.
So do I go before the owlbear,
You
or
do.
has the owlbear already?
So what are my
the owlbear
current
already
effects?
there?
I've been given haste by you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have haste, and it's +2 instead of +1.
On my weapon rolls.
On a
well,
reflexes,
plus-
AC, attack rolls.
Okay.
I linked it. I linked it up there. And you have Pass Without a Trace. So everybody has Pass Without a Trace. Everybody has quickness, and then everybody except for Jubilost is invisible right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we remain invisible as long as we don't do something hostile?
Right. So tagging Jubilost with invisibility, you'll stay invisible, but attacking the owlbear, you'll come out.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, one more time. Is the owlbear already on him, or
Not
am I
yet.
going to be...
Yeah, it's probably about, like, I'm going to say, like, 50 feet away.
All right. Well, you beat him in initiative, so maybe turn him invisible.
Yeah, so
maybe
I'll cast Vanish on Jubilost.
Okay, sounds good.
And then I guess I'm just going to run.
that might be good enough, actually. That initiative roll might have just saved all of us.
That's what I was hoping.
We have the pass without a trace.
So, quickness gives a bonus to my speed, I think.
Yeah, should put you at plus 30.
Mm-hmm.
Plus
And
30.
then, assuming everybody gets out, then the only thing basically that can happen now is the owlbear knows the last square where Jubilost was. So it comes down to it needs to roll a 50 or better, or they're able to get away. Okay, so Jubilost turns tail and starts running. The owlbear comes charging. The owlbear's feet are as big as Jubilost's, like, head to waist, and it slams down into the ground, hoot roaring as it, like, charges where Jubilost was, and it misses Jubilost by perhaps a foot and a half. And that gives you guys enough time to break away and escape the creature as you go.
And it can't smell us.
And it can't smell you because Pass Without Trace, which stops the encounter. As
Oh my
you all
God.
are sprinting. Madam Spymaster, High Priest, from this moment forward, I work for free. I owe you my life. And just a
That's
long
what I like to hear.
string of curses in Gnomish as you guys make it back to Rooston. Eventually, the owlbear does peter off and go back to the graveyard once it realizes it can no longer find you after probably spending like 30 seconds of just fucking up the ground where it thinks Jubilost was. Meanwhile, it's a little...
I hear the whenever you say that in my mind, I have the like the 70s Spider-Man or like Justice League music. And it goes.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, we're going to Kato's. We're going to Amalia's. Kato, Senia, you are able to get there in about the same amount of time it takes for the graveyard crew to go to the graveyard by virtue of the fact that someone can give you a boat. You arrive at Amalia's hut, make a perception check.
All right. You guys be grateful I wasn't the one who ran into the book 2 boss, because I would have just been like, bring it! And then I would be dead.
Okay. So the first thing both of you notice, in fact, the front door to Amalia's hut has been broken down. Looks like the windows have been broken, the scarecrow lies busted up on the ground, the fence rows have been as if something had bludgeoned them to death. The house has been attacked. Senia, on the ground, you go looking around, there are several, like, heavy hoof prints of horses with... You probably haven't seen this particular make of horseshoe in this part of the world, like, somehow, and again, it's been raining for a while, the hoof prints have pushed in harder than they should, as if these shoes were made of, you're not sure what, but more than steel, and they have a certain image, which I will grab really quickly. They have a knowledge... You know, nobility kind of works for this. Nobility or...
Yeah!
I'll allow it. I want to make sure I have the right one.
Nobility or history?
Yeah.
Oh man. Not entirely familiar with this part of history.
It's one of those, blind spots.
I missed that day at
I'm trying
Stag
to
School.
remember the exact... I'm not as familiar with this bit of improv as I'm improving out my butt right now. But I knew I wanted to bring him in at some point, and this seems to be a good time to do it. It is very clear to not Senia. Senia, they don't really come this far north. Kato, you've probably seen 1d4, maybe 1d6 at best Hell Knights in your time in Restov. They kind of go wherever they want to. A long time ago, they were formally associated with the Empire of Cheliax, the militant arm of the government, shall we say. Present day, they still, they're a little more paramilitary than just, the secret police of the region. There are many different orders of Hell Knights, all devoted to a specific aspect of Judge Dreadism, is the best way I can think to say that.
That's a good one. That's a great way of putting it.
Despite the moniker, they're not associated necessarily with hell. More so just law and the fierce application at the point of a weapon on it. In particular, this is the order that I'm struggling to find the name of, because I keep, it was definitely that, but it's not. They are known for, I think it was the Chain. Is it the Chain? They go hunt down rogue spellcasters. They are the iconic witch hunters, shall we say. Looks like they came a calling here. I will have the order in just a second. My God, why can't I find this? But yes, they are Judge Dredd character, and a lot of them, it looks like, have shown up here and attacked the house.
Am I okay? Not familiar with these imprints of the horseshoes here, Kato.
Hell Knights.
Hell Knights? What are those?
Just points at the shoe horse. What are those?
I know almost nothing about them. I've only seen them rarely in passing. Why would they be here? This makes no sense. Kato's just perplexed.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Do we know how much of? I seem to recall there's something about Amalia leaving Cheliax and whatever. How much of that do we know?
You know a lot of it. You know she's in the same way that Artoris has really pale skin, dark eyes, dark hair. She is Chelish by ethnicity, and Jubilost has told you that the Derulvan family was a very well-to-do merchant family in the Chelish colony of Anchor's End. There was something very bad happened, and the daughter was ordered put to the I wanted to say put to the stake, but that's right. Ordered put to the stake for witchcraft.
Senya, can you tell how old these tracks are?
What is that?
Check she could.
Let's see.
That's what I brought you for.
It's hard to say. It's been super rainy for the past couple days. By the virtue of the fact that they're still here, it can't have been more than 24 hours. But again, there are some places where there's a rock in the ground that has an imprint from a horseshoe with that particular symbol that I can't fucking find of the Hell Knight Order. I'm getting there. Keep role-playing. Role-playing stall.
Am I able to tell how many there were here?
Looks like a couple dozen.
So, based on the tracks, Kato, there were quite a few of them here. And it's hard to say how long ago they were here because it's been raining so much for the past few days. But if the tracks are still here, probably within the last 24 hours.
Hmm. And we're too few numbers to go chasing after them.
Ever feel beset upon by all sides?
I almost feel like this was
Get out of here, Ghost.
Ghost
Oh,
of our
sorry.
tour. I'm gonna examine the hut closer. I'm gonna go inside.
I'm gonna come with Kato.
See if there's any.
There it is.
Is
This'll
it-
work. The Order of the Pyre. God, that took me a really long time to find. Of course, the one that's associated with witchcraft would be the one where you're burning folks. The symbol is a red rook on like a black circle with fire licking the base of it. I will put the screen cap in our general real quick. Yeah, you can definitely, if you want to go in the hut and make a perception check, you certainly can.
A perception check?
Yeah. So you go in, and you couldn't see him around the corner, but clad in a suit of, like, absorbing the light black full plate with a very, I'm going to say a very Final Fantasy 12 helmet, and just hope everyone understands what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah, I know
exactly what they look like. These just big old, like, should break your neck horns of full plate, a red and black cape, what is the weapon you like to use, friendo? A glaive, actually.
Yep.
Snapped on the ground. The man is very, very dead. Other than that, the entire place appears tossed.
Sorry, he's very what?
Very,
You cut
very
out.
dead.
Oh, okay.
The entire place has been ransacked. And there's no sign of any other life forms here.
Molly, I have an order.
God damn it! I needed some magic items made. What an inconvenience.
Oh boy.
Shit. Okay. Well, we definitely need to report this back. Senya, do you feel I should take this? I'm going to bring this Hell Knight back to Rooston. Maybe Ionia can do some object reading on it to get some insights on who they are and what they're doing here. But perhaps I should accompany you to the what are they called? The Uruxi camp first, because who knows what threats could be out there. We seem to be besieged from all sides.
So we
Nice
took
phrasing.
a boat. We took a boat, yeah.
Yeah.
So we could take the boat to the Uruxi village because it's on the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, that you could. It would be the most expedient route.
Yeah, good call on the bringing this dead body back to Ionia, and perhaps she can tell us a little bit more about what happened here. But yes, we should definitely check in on our friends down farther south.
Sounds good. Let us proceed to
Let
the
us
Uruxi camp.
proceed. Alrighty, let me
To
get
the Uruxi camp.
to the Uruxi camp. I shouldn't have moved
Man.
that to the front. That's my beat.
You're such a tease, Tommy. For a second, I thought I was going to get to fight a Hell Knight when I turned that corner and you started.
I don't think you want to fight a squadron of Hell Knights,
No,
man.
a Hell Knight.
Oh.
So, like the dead one.
Oh, you thought that was like one just staying
Yeah.
there, like ready?
Anyway, as you guys round around here, can I get a perception check from the pair of you?
Of course. It's getting better each time. Beat me.
Something with Cannon
Make sure I got the
Tower?
right token. I'll just grab the token that I saved up here. That'll work too.
Oh, right, because we go down the river, across the lake, and down the. Yeah, this lake.
Oh, hey, there's a tree ripper.
And indeed, as you make your way down the side, from the tree line emerges an enormous, not quite, as if it had like grown into the size of its body a little. It's like in the awkward teenager phase, right? You know what I mean? Nevertheless, enormous mastodon. It moves as like the boat is making its way downriver, pretty much heedless of you, up to an enormous tree on the bank, and just and it comes out. It begins munching on the leaves. It sees you. Its ears flick a little bit.
I wave at it.
Okay. Make a handle animal check.
This is going to end. This whole session is going to end in a Godzilla-style fight between the owlbear and this mammoth for the fate of Concordia.
That's not quite the right song, but we'll take it.
Yeah.
Nice natural 20 on the...
Okay. And indeed, you attract the mastodon's attention. It comes, like, it looks up. Its trunk kind of floats through the air in your direction. It once, and then it comes like storming towards the boat, as if like, you ever have a friend who has a particularly large dog who doesn't realize how big that dog is? Yeah, it's kind of like that. As Tree Raiser comes just over to the side of the boat, and as Senia is stopping, and I did it again, oopsie. As Senia is stopped and talking to folks, well, that actually might work okay. No, it didn't. Never mind. I pooped on OBS. OBS, come back. You can blame it all on me. Okay, we're good. The mastodon's trunk reaches out as if to grab you. Do you resist?
No.
Alrighty. And
Oh
so
my God.
and Senia is wrenched from the boat as the creature picks you up in what is probably an embrace, but that doesn't mean you don't feel the air escaping from your lungs as it like wraps around and hugs you and sniffs your face and sniffs your hair. A little bit of snot comes out from the of like finding another black stag. A smell it identifies with friend.
Kato's hand is sitting at his sword hilt.
I start laughing because I'm ticklish, and I'm like, "Hey, don't worry about it." And I pet the snout. And, here's a good boy.
And the mastodon sets you on its back where there is a saddle. It's very effortless for it to just whoop, boop, and there you are.
And Kato is shocked and stunned.
Jealous.
The sigildry of the black stag decorates the side of the saddle. The pommel is probably just like reverse deer antler, basically just the like, there's no pointy bits, but the like the end where you would like remove the rack from a deer, and it has that like studded bit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Maybe, possibly. I can't be the only person from small town Missouri, but yeah.
I have no idea what you're referring to, but I'm just nodding.
Gee, thanks.
I kind of scratch him behind the ears. I'm like, "Who's a good boy? Can you take us to the village?"
Handle animal check.
I believe.
Unfortunately, I put everything into this one's strength and none into its intelligence, so it doesn't understand you, but it does like you. And indeed, the mastodon trumpets at like the top of its voice. Birds go scattering, and it goes like storming in the direction of the Aruxi village. It will probably outpace the boat, Kato.
Bye, Kato!
It runs into a tree. It seems to not notice the tree was there. The tree ceases to exist, and then that like continues.
Well,
leaving Kato alone on a boat.
With a dead Hell Knight.
With a dead Hell Knight.
Well, no, I left it at the... we're going to pick it up on the way back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We weren't going to drag it with us to the Aruxi camp.
Well, I thought that I wasn't sure if you were worried someone would come by. I don't know.
And steal our corpse?
I thought the dead Knights, Hell Knights might come back and like retrieve their fallen. I assumed the rest of them chased after Amalia in some capacity.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'd leave their dead where they fall. I don't know.
dude, I'm strength 7. I'm not lugging a body around.
That's true. All right, I'd have the same approach.
Wouldn't you know though, because you're like from there or some shit?
Well, I have lineage from there, but I was born in.
The ghosts of Artoris cannot make knowledge checks from 2 hexes
that too.
away.
Did hear a lot from my parents, so I might know. But
well,
so I guess I will. I don't know. Pace on the boat while I wait for it to reach the village.
Okay, so you
I'm
just want
kind of pissed.
The boat will go at the speed the boat is going. You don't want to like pick up the pace or anything.
I mean, I don't think I could chase down a mastodon on foot. So, what's the speed at this thing is moving at?
Fast.
I mean, yeah, the boat will get me to the village. It's
What's the
faster
speed?
than
Yes.
my walk speed. So
Yeah, the boat is faster than your walking speed in difficult terrain, sure. Okay, in any case, Sinia, you do arrive first. The Iruxi open the gates to their village, and you, I can't remember if the party we haven't been here in a while, so you maybe, possibly didn't have this info yet. I sort of forget. So this is either a shocker or you knew it was going to happen. The first thing you notice is there are several, about quarter the size of a full-grown Iruxi, running around playing. All
I think
various shapes, sizes, and colors and things.
so. These are like baby Uruxi.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we.
Okay, cool. We did know that.
At some point, we realized that this was like their spawning ground.
Indeed. And you're let in. Everyone seems very happy to see Tree Razor, and they go up and give it pats, and then they realize there's a different human on its back, and they get real uncomfortable. Some of them reach for like spears, bows, axes, and then Dazia appears. Just kind of like out of nowhere, turns a corner, and there she is. Do not hurt this one. You are either very brave or very bold, human. But
Perhaps a little bit of both.
Indeed. You remind me of my daughter, but I digress. We can speak with the spirits later. For now, why have you come to my people's spawning grounds? We haven't let any warm bloods in this part of the world since the little one who had funny things to say. Oh, little Jubilost.
Yes, well, I come bringing news that perhaps will have a huge impact on your village here. We have found out that the Tiger Lords have made an alliance with the Troll King. What's his name? Hargoka.
You got it.
And they have plans to march on us, and I would think that before long they will also march on your spawning grounds, and I believe that it is both in our best interest to band together at this time and make a stand against.
And what would you have us do exactly?
Certainly you have warriors. I would ask you to join us, to join our forces, and meet the trolls in battle.
Make a diplomacy check.
Oh boy.
oh boy.
Okay.
It's so bad she didn't even activate it on her sheet. 1 second.
Oof.
Uh-oh.
Roll charisma.
She's
I
got
assume there's
negative.
no
I know
range.
Roll
she's.
charisma.
I know
yeah.
she's got negative charisma mod because I'm somehow
She does.
better at handling animals than her.
All right. Yeah, here comes the diplomacy. You need like roll like a boss.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh,
Wow.
that's so good. Well,
It's like me getting out
not
of
the
a river.
diplomacy, but the handle animal, though.
Unfortunately, Warmblood, we need our warriors to
Fuck
protect
off.
our... And scratches the... Like, as she's talking, a little, like, purple-scaled Uruxi runs into her thigh, and she reaches down and scratches. Our children! However, you are not incorrect. And I don't have anything better to do today. She cracks her neck. By the spirits, I will join you. Do you have a plan?
How far out is Kato?
I believe my liege will have a better understanding of what the plan is. He's on his way in a boat.
Is he
I don't
too
know.
good to ride on Mastodon back?
I couldn't stop Tree Ripper from taking off before picking up Kato along the way, but Kato should be here.
You say Tree Ripper, and there's a tent flap is thrown back roughly as out walks another token that I'll put on the board that will be much too big.
Is it Dimikos?
Bam.
Oh, Stag Jesus.
His name is Tree Razor! God damn it, woman! Get off my mount!
Oh shit.
What did you call him? Tree Ripper? I guess you got his name wrong. That's amazing.
Tree Razor, Tree Ripper.
Dazia steps
Close
back.
enough.
Tree Razor goes moving towards Divicos. Divicos holds out his left arm, the only arm he has, and like reaches up and
I slide off him.
Tree Razor wraps his arm around him, and there's like a probably like a 30-second hug pause.
I slide off the mammoth or the mastodon and like hop off him and just walk up to Divicos and give him a big bear hug.
Okay. He resists. Roll a combat maneuver.
Oh wow.
Despite his resistance,
Nothing will stop this embrace from happening.
my love. Let me check his CMD. He's taking a sizable penalty to it right now. What with lacking of body parts,
Having a
Yeah.
missing arm, yeah, I imagine.
He's not about that fangirl life.
It's close. You imagine if the side that had an arm still had an arm, he probably would have something to say about it. But you are able to get your arms around him before he's is able to pull himself out. He just kind of locks up, doesn't say anything. You can feel him shaking. He's just waiting for the moment to pass.
Alright, I stop hugging him. You have no idea how long I thought I was the last one. And then you don't talk to me. What did I do wrong?
He just glares at you. More filth for the slaughter.
More
Where
blood
are
for the
they?
lookout.
Do you have any idea?
Do I have any idea what?
What did
Where
he say?
they are. Where our enemies are. Where the vermin that killed my family are.
We've sent out scouts to look for the army. I'm pretty sure we'll know any day now where they're amassing.
Scouts from Restov?
No, scouts from Rooston.
What exactly
From
is the
King-
difference?
From Concordia! Kato screams as he's running up to
What?
the gate.
Out of here.
Is he Kato? Is
Kato's
Kato
not
here?
here.
Yeah.
Aw, come on.
Nope.
Nice try.
I'm gonna
I
mute
mean
the
that
boys if the
sincerely.
boys can't be quiet, so Sania can have her time now. The poor
Yeah,
girl
okay.
who never gets to speak, you're on.
Rooston is the settlement that we created after we defeated the Stag Lord at his fort on Tuskwater.
We who?
I and Kato and my other friends that I have went and gathered when I rushed to Rostov to find allies to help me fight the tiger.
He just kind of you say all of the names, and Tree Razor hasn't let go, and he kind of grasps the fur that runs down Tree Razor's trunk. You went to find friends, and you brought back fools from Brevoy who would turn this beautiful bounty of a world into a lifeless nothing by expanding it with cities. You ride with the settlers. You are not a black stag. I will deal with the Tiger Lords myself. He spits at your feet and gets on Tree Razor and rides off.
Okay then.
Ouch.
He almost doesn't wait for the gate to open. The Uruxi are just like right at the point where they can get the gate open, where before True Razor would like just battering ram through it. And Kato, on the other side, coming up the river,
Oh no.
you see the Mastodon now has a different rider.
Where is it heading? Where is it going?
Heading north.
And I'm coming from the south.
Actually, no, I can say that better. It's heading along the river. You two will intersect.
We'll meet.
Yeah.
Excellent. You there!
The
Kato
Mastodon stops.
shouts. What have you done with Senya?
What have I done with your new pet? She's back with the Uruxi. I assume she doesn't try to follow, I should say.
Senya is very much shell-shocked about how mean Divakos is. So, yeah, she's back at the Uruxi village.
I resent that remark. She is a friend and an ally and a fierce warrior. I heard you were as well.
Spare me the niceties. Where are your foes?
Marching upon us as we speak. That is why we are here, to seek allies in the coming conflict. Their numbers are large, but they will fall.
What makes you so confident?
No one can truly know. For sure. However, all I do know is my companions are strong, our will is strong, and we will fight to our dying breath to see this land protected. That is all we can do.
To what end? What are you protecting? Are you protecting this land, or are you protecting your castle? Are you protecting your holdings? Who do you report to? Which sword lord scratches you under the chin, little boy? Who gives you a treat?
Damn this guy.
Kato just sits there staring at, what's his name?
His name is Divakos.
Divakos. I could kill.
Time to fight him.
I have no choice.
He's gonna.
I
Because he's got that weird trait.
I have the trait. Yeah. If you were the man you once were, I would make you eat those words. But I doubt you can even carry a sword anymore.
He responds with a shout. Roll for initiative.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Oh, oops, I should clear initiative.
He says, "God damn it." You gotta fight him and a Mastodon.
I respect that you play out the trait, though. I really do.
Yeah.
I cannot tolerate insults to my honor. Or
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay. All right. Not bad. But
Can you stance immediately when a combat begins?
Yeah.
I can. I can enter my stance.
I was just gonna ask because I was really worried. Like, Esker, do you think he can switch his stance like as soon as he starts? So that he know?
Oh, you're hilarious. All right. Where the?
Please don't die out there, Dull, to a possible ally.
I'm not going to die,
enemy.
and I'm not going to kill him
from
either.
Don't die to a bush to don't die to a possible ally.
All right.
How far away am I?
You could intervene if you want to roll initiative too.
Boom!
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Boy, that is so hype.
He was very hype. Is it a 19? Yeah.
Alright, I guess I'll roll initiative.
Alright. And she's gonna roll a 29 and just show us both up. Stop fighting, children. We both look very sad because we did a boo-boo. I'm betting that she doesn't beat Kato. I want to say Kato tentatively is first.
Alright, I'm not looking because my initiative's pretty bad-ish.
Oh, yes. That's actually in normal circumstances when we're not rolling 19s and 20s. You would have been like up there.
Indeed.
Still third, so you might as well have rolled in that one.
Besides these two.
Everyone is incredibly quick to react.
Is the mammoth rolling, or does it go when?
Like Minoru, the mammoth goes on the guy who has the animal companion's turn.
Okay.
Is he trying to trample me with the mammoth?
Well, you're on a boat.
Guess you'll find out, dude.
At this point, he's just yelling. The mastodon is picking up some of Dad's anger and is trumpeting as well.
So he doesn't really have to do much to get you down. You know what I mean? Mm. You're on a rinky dinky raft.
So I guess this is what did they call it? Coliseum of the Mind.
Theater of the Mind. I can give you a grid if you would like, but this seems to be mostly I attack him, he attacks me. I attack him, he attacks me.
Well, I don't even know if we're going to come to actual blows.
Oh.
Like, I hope we don't. Anyway, I just need him to apologize, and then I'm cool.
That's what you're going to use your initial action for? What stance do you use to enhance your apology skills? Or,
so, as part of my initiative roll, I draw my weapon and enter Eldori style. At the start of my first turn, as a free action, I activate Crane style, fusing them together into Eldori Crane style. Okay, so I'm now in my combined style.
Are you going to say that every time?
No, from now on, I will. You can assume that is my.
It's your bonus action.
That's my.
It's like I'm watching Power Rangers. You know what I mean? They have to like shout out their moves every time.
It's an early 2000s anime.
Mm-hmm. Kato will use his move action to jump from the boat onto the land.
Alrighty.
Is it close enough that I don't really need to make an acrobatics check for that?
Yeah, you should be fine.
All right, so I'll essentially move up. And I will... How far away is he?
You could get there in a move action.
It's not like I'm trying to charge him, but he's a move action away.
Yeah.
We will say. Okay.
Difficult terrain-ish. It's like you could get there within 30 feet.
Okay. So for my standard action, I'll enter total defense. And I will say... don't think you can insult my honor. And that's...
Got him.
Got him.
Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. Shit.
Way to defuse the situation, bro.
Divicos, I think, was next, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Divicos says nothing but puts his hand on Tree Razor's head, and as this happens, a like glowing nimbus of like charcoal gray color covers the feet and tusks and trunk. I don't think anyone in the encounter is capable of casting a spellcraft or making a spellcraft check rather. As he casts a spell on his buddy would like to grab you.
Good luck.
If you would like to parry it, you may.
Is this an attack or a combat maneuver?
A combat maneuver.
Okay, so I can't parry combat maneuvers, right? But
I fair enough. Okay, I thought you could. I lied.
Just attack rolls. So
then the natural one will always fail. Kato is able to dodge out of the way as the trunk
26 with a 1.
I know.
Slams into the
Oh man!
Actually, a lot higher than I was expecting.
Yeah, I was like, I should be fine. I've got really high CMD. I mean, I was fine even without the auto fail, but still any higher and I would have maybe been in danger. Okay, so yeah, Kato slips away.
Did the same thing just without pushing the talk.
Okay, Senya, you're up. I'm gonna say, Senya, you're probably like a double move away from like the arena as he's moved out into the surrounding countryside. The Aruxi are all aware that this is happening, and they kind of just sit and do nothing.
I guess he probably
the most entertainment thing they've seen in a while.
Achilles, is now a good time? This is the last game where there's going to be a cat in the same room as me, probably, when I'm recording, so that's good.
Alright, so Senya sprints over to where Kato and Tree Razor and Divicos is, yelling at her, top of her lungs, stop! You're not fighting an enemy.
Okay. Make a diplomacy check.
A what check?
Diplomacy? Yeah, diplomacy or intimidate, your call. You are the good cop or the bad cop at your discretion.
Oh my god.
That's a me roll. Nice.
They don't see
That's a nat
Negative.
one.
You come
Nat
running
one
out
with a
just-
negative modifier.
Stop! And there's just the sound of trumpeting and slamming. And Kato, you're up.
He's like, well,
Well,
I want to just use total defense again because
mm-hmm.
he's going to try and grab me and probably succeed this time. So might have to actually attack him.
Dude, jump up
but I
on his
don't want to.
up on his tusk and run up there like some Naruto stuff, man. Just
Legolas, yeah.
It's probably what Bakken would do.
like well, it doesn't have to be anime. It could also be Simba.
Let's see what I
You
can
know?
do here.
He did that.
He was a king.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say. Actually, that might actually make things worse.
Apologize, you one-armed bastard.
You one-armed bastard.
With respect to my friend Senya, I don't want to hurt you. Come down off of that beast and let's discuss this like men. And then I will use Dazzling Display to intimidate all enemies within 30
Feet.
30 feet. That's the one.
Already.
It's okay. I know you're used to the metric system.
Okay. Hey, that's what I get when I roll a 1 to grapple, Tito.
Mm-hmm.
So then the DC is 10 plus half my hit dice, that number, plus my wisdom. Okay. Certainly the Mastodon seems uncomfortable. Actually, they both do. They are both shaken.
Ooh.
They continue just shouting. One of them in Mastodon, clearly. The other one, do either of you speak Celestial?
I don't.
The other one just...
What does linguistics give me?
A language.
You would like, that's Celestial, and the general idea of what they're trying to say is this.
You have 1 point, or you have 4 point. You have 4 in linguistics. So in theory, you could know 4 languages, but you can't just like, oh, I know that one. You have to like say that you have to actively learn them during like downtime, like Ionia has been.
Got it.
So yeah, in the future, let's get you some languages.
But in any case, it's pretty obvious he's just like, you've rattled his bones, but you've taken him from like super angry to super angry / rattled, and we will pick up the rest of this combat next time after 45 minutes of in-character reflection and character development, 30 minutes of splitting the party. Thank you all for watching. Oh, yeah. I've had to go to the bathroom like this whole time, so that's great. Be sure to like and subscribe for more attacking Kato with Mastodons and attacking the casters with Owlbears.
I'm between a rock and a hard place here. If I attack him, Senya will kill me. Like it's like.
Goodbye.
Tune in next time.
Tune in next time for this moral dilemma.
Right. Say bye, y'all. I gotta go potty.
See ya.
Bye.